July evening as the Phillies and St. Louis Cardinals get ready to battle during this weekend series. The first of three coming your way tonight on Prism. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Prism booth. Todd Callis along with Chris Wheeler. Gary Maddox will join us once again in the fourth inning. And tonight, Wheels, it'll be the Phils coming off another disappointing trip, 2-6 this time. When the Braves went by them, you still thought a little bit about the NL East division, and then after a little while, you started looking at the wild card race, which the Phils were on top of. And I guess right now, that's the main focus of this team, is to start thinking about wild card.
Well, I think it should be. I mean, we can stand up here and say, oh, yeah, there's still a chance to win the division because it's July and you're 7.5 back. But who are you 7.5 behind? You're behind the Atlanta Braves. And the Atlanta Braves, with their great pitching and the great ball club that they have, you don't expect to be able to catch them. So luckily, there is that wild card out there. You know, that was here last year that we never got a chance to play around with. So I would think that that would be the focal point. Sure, you want to try and win your division, but realistically, you want to try and have the second best record in everybody out there behind the division winners and see if you can keep playing in October. This team thought for a good while that they were going to be playing in October as well as they were playing. And then with this 4-18 they've gone through, they've gotten themselves in some problems.
Phils try to turn it around tonight with Sid Fernandez. The first look for Veterans Stadium fans at El Cid in a Phils uniform. He'll be opposed by Donovan Osborne. We'll come back with starting lineups and first pitch right after this.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. The Yellow Pages 9 out of 10 people use. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies, featuring full-service evening and 7-day banking. The Pennsylvania Daily Lottery. Don't forget to play. Proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines. Add more life to your car. Take it to the star. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. For 57 years, the health insurance company you can lean on.
The Bud Light Amateur Beach Challenge. They're lean. They're mean.
Ooh, they're killing us. Yeah. How about 2 out of 3? I got it.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
What's wrong with her?
Make it a Bud Light.
As a former teacher, I wanted to find out why Norristown School District employees switched their health coverage and chose to go all blue with personal choice.
Freedom. That's what I demand when choosing my doctor or seeing a specialist.
Personal choice makes us feel secure and appreciated.
I deal with the best doctors and hospitals. With personal choice, I don't have to settle for anything less.
Ask your employer about switching to personal choice. Freedom, quality, and affordability you can lean on.
In the automotive world, if you don't change, you get crushed. Lexus, however, in our continuing pursuit of perfection, has made hundreds of changes to the LS400, resulting in a faster, more luxurious, roomier, and more maneuverable car than ever before. So drive an LS, unless, of course, you prefer to drive the competition. See the LS at your New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer. Everything's changed but the price.
Back at Veterans Stadium, we're ready to get underway tonight as we'll take a look at the St. Louis Cardinals starting lineup this evening. Ramon Caraballo leads off at second base, Alan Battle in right field, Bernard Gilkey in left, Ray Lankford the cleanup hitter, Darnell Coles at third, Danny Schaefer behind the plate, John Mabry at first base, Trip Cromer is the shortstop, and on the mound tonight for the Cardinals, Donovan Osborne.
And defensively tonight for the Phillies, your first look at Lenny Dykstra here at Veterans Stadium in left field. Andy Van Slyke in center, Dave Gallagher in right. Charlie Hayes, Kevin Stocker, Mariano Duncan, and Greg Jeffries now the first baseman. Darren Dalton behind the plate. And a guy, Todd, who pitched a lot in a Mets uniform in this ballpark, Sid Fernandez.
Sid Fernandez making his second start as a Philadelphia Philly. Did start that game in Montreal on the recent road trip. Went 5 1/3 innings. There you see his numbers. 7 hits, a couple of walks. It was his 5th straight loss. If you go back to his American League record with the Orioles this year, he was 0-4 in the AL with an ERA above 7. Sid, though, pitching tonight against the St. Louis Cardinals. During his career, Sid has pitched against the Cardinals 27 times. He is 10-7 with a 3.25 ERA. Sid Fernandez, like Andy Van Slyke, making his first appearance here in front of the Veterans Stadium crowd. And a new look defense, as Wheels mentioned. Greg Jeffries is over at first. Still getting used to the position. He didn't take out an infield ball to toss around when they came out to warm up.
He's not used to playing first on turf. So now he plays his first game on turf. He forgot the ball. Greg, he had one misplay in the game that he's played so far at first base. I think it's very obvious that he's comfortable over there. He likes that position. And as we talked about on the pregame show, unfortunately for Dave Hollins, he's the one who's the odd man out right now.
Here's Ramon Caraballo to lead things off. Switch hitting second baseman. Batting right-handed against Sid Fernandez. We're underway with a fastball for a called strike of the knees, 0-1. Mark Hirschbeck is the home plate umpire. Frank Pulley at first base. Joe West at second. And Gary Darling at third. One ball and one strike.
Kind of strange atmosphere here tonight. It's quiet, you know, because the Phillies have not played very well, and they need to regenerate some enthusiasm back here, because there was some, definitely, especially in that Atlanta series.
Good breaking curveball for a called strike, 1-2.
The fans aren't quite sure what to do. You know, are you angry? Are you melancholy, or what are you right now? And as we mentioned, as this game begins, it's about as quiet as I can ever remember here.
Well, the beginning of this demise came after the Phils won that game in St. Louis and came home for a big series between the Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves. That was back on June 27th. Phils went from 19-18 on the 25th of June after their win in St. Louis. Now they are 4-18 in their last 22. Swing and a miss. Caraballo chases a high fastball and goes down swinging, so Sid Fernandez strikes out the first batter.
When you're when you're an opponent of Sid Fernandez, Todd, what's the one thing you don't want to do? And that's it. Now that one was way up, but Sid has made a good living over the years throwing high fastballs that hitters chased and either swung and missed or popped up. That ball was one that, you know, they're not going to chase too often, but he got him to go after it.
Here's Alan Battle coming in at 314. Battle, like the rest of the Cardinals outfield, a homegrown product coming up through St. Louis's system. Good fastball, swing and a miss. The reason it's so difficult for Sid to pick up Sid when he's pitching is his elbow stays so low through his delivery. And because of that, his release point is a lot lower than you would expect for somebody of his size.
Alan Battle, the last time we saw Alan Battle in that game right after the All-Star break, Michael Mims, he walked 3 times in that game, was very, very patient. And you see how many starts he's had, one of them the game I'm talking about. And this game, he's come out and hacked at both pitches that he's seen. He looked like an entirely different player.
Fernandez ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Curveball sent in the air to center field. Van Slyke will play it on 1 hop. Sid maybe got that curveball up a little more than he wanted to, and Battle sends the 0-2 pitch into center. He's the game's first runner.
Sure, anytime you get hurt on an 0-2 pitch to a guy that was swinging as wildly as that, you have to figure you probably made a bad pitch. And he did get it up in the strike zone to him.
Sid Fernandez, 6'1", started the year right around 217 pounds, which was the lightest he'd ever been in his career. He has gained some of that weight back, as you can see, and I think Sid feels a lot more comfortable at his current weight, which is probably around the 230 mark.
Well, he told your dad one time that Hawaiians are not built for speed, they're built for comfort.
Built for relaxation.
I love that line.
Sid was out in his 50th state that he calls home. Where's that number 50? Just last week before he pitched in Montreal.
Well, he's come out throwing that breaking ball a lot tonight. He didn't have much command of that the other day in Montreal, but he has pretty good command of that big curveball right now.
And if he gets that pitch that looked like it was a bit outside, if he gets that called, he's going to be very successful.
Mark Hirschbeck is a good umpire, and he is an expanded plate umpire. I mean, he does call a lot of strikes.
Fastball ripped into center field. 1 hop in front of Andy Van Slyke. So 2 0-2 singles by the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, and that one on a fastball, the first one on a hanging curveball. Here he has Gilkey, a good player, buried, and then throws a fastball right down the middle and down. Where Sid has success with a fastball is when he can get it above the hands, above the waist, and get them to chase it. He's hittable in the strike zone with his fastball, I think, from the belt down.
Here's Ray Langford. Leads the team with those 14 home runs and leads the team with 50 RBIs. Those stolen bases also leading the team with 18.
Ray Langford has been a guy that for years you thought was going to be a premier player in this league because he would show flashes of it. And he's doing it again right now. Real good numbers, and you know, they've hit him all over the place from leadoff to 6, and now he's in the 4-hole.
He's the only one really driving in runs this year. Brian Jordan has as well, but Jordan nursing a sore rib cage. Hit deep to right field. Gallagher goes back to the track, reaches up and makes a fine play. Hit well by Langford. Gallagher raced to catch it on the warning track, and there's 2 away.
And Fernandez got away with 1 that time as Gallagher, the ball hung. I think Langford might have pulled off it just a little bit and hit it off the end of the bat just a little. It's a high curveball. See, he double pumped on it. That's where he lost his power. You could see what happened there. He hitched on it. And the ball died out there for Gallagher. Right there, Gallagher knows he has it.
And the runners had to retreat quickly, battle back to second, Gilkey to first. So now 2 on and 2 outs, and Darnell Cole's the batter. Cole's the former Seattle Mariner, hitting .236 on the year. Fernandez misses with a fastball outside, 1-0. You don't see many Phillies wear their stirrup socks like Sid Fernandez. All red from just above the ankle to the shoes.
That's his individual statement.
Misses with a fastball, high and away. It's 2-0. When you get a big body, it makes those ankles and legs look a lot thinner when you have those stirrups. So he's got those little spindly ankles. It's about the only little thing on Sid. He loves the heat, so he'll be right at home with the temperatures tonight. Hit well to right center field towards the gap. Long run Gallagher, and he's there. Some hard hit balls in the inning, but the Phillies escape without allowing a run on 2 hits, 2 men left. Phillies turn in the bottom half.
Be part of a special tribute to Hall of Famer Richie Ashburn and receive a beautiful keepsake compliments of Rite Aid before the Phillies play the Cardinals Saturday, July 22nd, 7:05. Honor a legend. Share the moment. Enjoy the show. Call 463-1000.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium were formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving, to give you smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks, and we think Power Plus and Power Premium will make quite an impression on you.
Add more life to your car! Take it to the star! This time, it's bigger than ever. The #1 savings event of the year. It's Ford's factory-authorized clearance at your Quality Plus Ford dealer. That means 6 of the 10 best-selling cars and trucks in America are clearance priced to move. Get $2,000 cash back on Ford Taurus. Repeat, $2,000 cash back on Taurus. The best offer ever on America's best-selling car. It's Ford's factory-authorized clearance. Going on now at your Quality Plus Ford dealer. Don't miss it.
Bottom half of the first inning, the Phils turn to bat, and this is the lineup that Jim Fregosi handed over to Mark Hirschbeck. Lenny Dykstra leads off in left field. Greg Jeffries at first base. Mariano Duncan at second base. Darren Dalton behind the plate. Charlie Hayes bats 5th. Andy Van Slyke is in center field. Dave Gallagher already made a couple plays in right. Kevin Stocker, the shortstop, and Sid Fernandez on the mound.
Bernard Gilkey, Ray Langford, and Alan Battle from left to right. Around the infield, Darnell Coles at third. Trip Cromer's the shortstop. Ramon Caraballo at second, and John Mabry, the first baseman. Danny Schaefer behind the plate as Tom Pagnazzi's out with a knee injury. And pitcher that, Todd, at one time looked like he had a chance to be a good one and then had shoulder problems. And I know you saw him when you were doing the Louisville Cardinal games. Donovan Osborne making a comeback.
Yeah, Osborne still tries to be a power pitcher, but maybe doesn't have the same giddy up on the fastball since the injury. He also underwent a time on the disabled list this year with a sore left elbow. He is 26 years of age, 6'2", 195-pounder, and making just his second start since coming off the disabled list. His first start in Pittsburgh, he went 5 1/3 innings, allowing 4 hits and a couple of runs, walked 2 and struck out 5. In his last start, he allowed the 2 runs on 2 home runs, and he's allowed a lot of long balls this year, 7 home runs in his 5 starts.
Donovan Osborne was a guy that pitched inside a lot to right-handed batters, to hard slider, and had a pretty good changeup when his shoulder was healthy.
Hasn't pitched against the Phils since '93. Osborne did not pitch against anybody last year. Spent the entire season recovering from reconstructive surgery on the shoulder.
Phillies have a lot of their left-handed hitters in this lineup, including Dykstra, have pretty good numbers against him.
Osborne in his career 3-2 with a 3.93 ERA against the Phils. His last start here at the Vet came back at '92, and Phils won that game 10-0. He allowed 8 runs in 6 innings. 2-2 the count to the Phils left fielder, Lenny Dykstra. Take a little time to get used to.
Still having trouble with it in the scorebook.
Just write Len Dykstra 8 down. Huh?
I'm telling you, you just get so used to it for so long to put down center field next to your name, or as you say, position 8. And now all of a sudden he's playing left field the last few days.
Lenny hasn't been affected hitting .317 lately. Hasn't shown the power this year. Still without a home run. Gets jammed on that inside pitch and pops it up. Ramon Caraballo waits, squeezes one away.
Happy birthday tonight to Harry Bass, who is the brother of Benny Bass, former featherweight and junior lightweight champion of the world.
Also happy 80th to Bertha Andruzzi of Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
And we have Lena Knipe from Sellersville, who's 94 years old today. Congratulations.
Here's Greg Jeffries batting in the number 2 spot. Also batting right-handed against his former teammate Donovan Osborne. Sure, Jeffries will have a few conversations over at first base tonight. All his ex-mates playing against him.
And Danny Jackson goes tomorrow night. He was, of course, he pitched here last time the Cardinals were here for that 1-game series, but Danny was down there talking to a lot of his old friends tonight.
Jeffries ahead of the count, 2-0. Chopped up the middle. Caraballo bobbles. Let's just see how that one scored. Caraballo was going to have to make a throw from behind the bag, but it looked like he had time.
Yeah, I think that'll be an error, Todd, because he definitely had time. This ball took one big hop, and if he controls it where Jeffries was on the baseline, he throws him out easily. It should be an error.
What about Jeffries in the number 2 spot? He came up as a number 2 hitter with the Mets, but then he's been a number 3 hitter with Kansas City and St. Louis.
Well, I think he'd rather hit 3. There's some prestige involved in being the 3-hole hitter in the lineup, but as long as Van Slyke's around against right-handed pitchers, Jeffries going to bat there, and Duncan they have here as an experiment tonight to see what happens.
And he rips one deep to left field. Looking up is Gilkey. Home run, Mariano Duncan. Phils jump on top 2-0. I think he likes that 3 spot.
Yeah, I just said we'll see what happens. And you just mentioned that Osborne's throwing home run balls. Well, that looked like a first ball fastball up, and that's right in his wheelhouse. So Mariano Duncan gives the Phillies a little power in the first inning. It's nice to score 2 runs that fast. That's unusual.
Phils don't have many home runs to their credit this year.
No, it's gotten to the point where it's kind of gallows humor around the club. Oh, you want a textbook of a pitch for Duncan, throw him a high fastball. That's a pitch he kills.
Duncan now 7 for 18 in his career against Osborne. And here's Darren Dalton. Funny, Duncan wanted to keep the baseball after his 1,000th hit. They didn't realize it was number 1,000 on the road, so he said, "Oh, I'll get the next one."
Right, and then Gilkey threw it back into the crowd just then.
Yeah.
So he still didn't get it.
He'll have to get number 1,002. He wanted to say 1,001 because he never got number 1,000 in Montreal, and now he'll have to wait for 1,002.
Maybe
I think he doesn't it doesn't bother him right now.
Yeah, he's been so good about that. Maybe they'll send somebody out into the stands out there, see if they can find that ball and give him another one. The security people are listening. I know Duncan would love to have that baseball.
Might have a little dent on it. That was a tattoo.
It was very nice of Gilkey to toss it back up to the crowd, but Duncan would rather have it rolled back in. There it is, 1,001. A double off Perez on Sunday for 1,000, and now the home run tonight.
You get a piece? Apparently so. Darren Daulton stays alive, 3-2. Donovan Osborne was originally selected out of high school by the Montreal Expos in the June '87 draft as a 9th-round pick. Elected to go to college at UNLV for 3 years, and it paid off for him because he was the first round pick of the Cardinals, 13th overall in 1990, and he walks Darren Daulton with 1 out here in the first.
Happy anniversary tonight, number 43 to Bill and Eileen Algio from South Philadelphia, and also number 60 to John and Ethel Gredian of Abington. Vince, Ann, and family want to wish their parents a happy 60th. I hope we read that right. We can only read the writing we're handed. And a lot of people make up these announcements for us.
Charlie Hayes' first pitch swinging, grounds 1 foul. Hayes had a tough time in his return back to the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, I think he tried to hit a home run too much, and Charlie had some problems. Although he smoked a ball yesterday, that Jason Bates made a great play on, turned that game around. What a beautiful ballpark that is. If anybody ever goes to Denver, check that place out.
I was just going to say, what were your impressions?
Wow, it's the best. Just everything about it, Todd. I mean, they can't do anything about the cheap homers. I mean, the air is a problem with that, but everything about that city and that ballpark and the atmosphere is top cabin. Great place to visit.
1-1 the count to Charlie Hayes. Takes a pitch right down the middle, 1-2. Even when they played at Mile High, it was very nice, but that was a football stadium.
Right. Now this place is a baseball stadium. They did a wonderful job there.
Hayes coming in, leading the team with 53 RBIs.
Donovan Osborne is short from what we've seen before. Now maybe he'll pick it up, but you know, it looks like he's trying to be a little more of a finesser because he just doesn't. I just don't think he has the arm strength at this point to get the ball inside the way that he used to.
And that was a key weapon for him.
Oh, he was tough.
Osborne won 11 games in his rookie year in '92, and in reality, he was supposed to spend that year at AAA Louisville. He was pressed into service because Bryn Smith was injured and went from Arkansas in '91 at AA up to the big leagues and won 11 games, second on the team. '93 won 10 games. Last year was injured all year.
Got that one in. Made a good pitch that time. So that's what I said. You know, you never know. He could pick it up as the game goes along, maybe. But just early on, you noticed he wasn't doing that or wasn't able to do it. That was a real weapon for him. Kind of like Danny Jackson. And Danny could really get inside on right-handed batters. So a tremendous weapon for a left-hander with a good changeup.
We'll see Danny Jackson here tomorrow. The game is well on Prism, just like tonight. Outside, count goes full on Charlie Hayes. Tomorrow will be Danny Jackson against Bobby Munoz, making his first start of the season at the big league level. Daulton on the move, and Hayes bounces one foul. Sunday it'll be Kurt Schilling against Ken Hill. Pitching matchup for this weekend series. Donovan Osborne is facing just his 5th batter and has thrown 25 pitches. Up high, they throw through. That's ball 4, so Darren Daulton will be tagged, but he's safe. Ball 4, Daulton advances to second on the walk. So back-to-back walks after that home run by Duncan, and that error has really opened up the door for the Phillies.
Best wishes tonight. Speedy recovery to Tracy Kuntz from Riverside, New Jersey, just released from the hospital, recovering from some knee surgery. So we hope Tracy has that leg propped up tonight in front of the TV and enjoying the ball game. It's been good so far for the Phillies here early on.
You're right about these fans. They're not quite sure. They're sitting on their hands a little bit.
Yeah, you can't blame them.
Yeah.
You know, you come here tonight and you're not sure what you're going to do. Well, Duncan's home run got him into a little bit.
Here's Andy Van Slyke batting in front of this crowd as a Philly for the first time. Van Slyke has played all his games with the Phils on the road, batting .316 and 19 at bats.
And he used to hit pretty well in this ballpark when he had that, in that great Pittsburgh club, when he had Bonnie and Bonds and Bell and all those guys playing there.
That's what he did back when he was with the Cardinals, 83 through 86, as he mentioned in the pregame show. That's the team you thought he would grow old with. There wasn't to be, and he had some outstanding seasons with the Buccos. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Van Slyke is 6 for 14 in his career against this lefty Osborne. Osborne did make 3 rehab starts since coming back from that sore left elbow. 1 big league start. Outside and low, 2-2. Phils were hoping maybe Coors Field would be a tonic for their offensive woes, but really didn't do much to change offensively on that series.
You know, they hit a little better there. They got more hits, but they didn't score. They didn't score runs the way that you need to score, because the Rockies, for the most part, are going to get some, going to get runs as you look at Dave Gallagher waiting, because they hit so many homers. They score a lot of runs fast in that place.
3rd straight batter that's gone to a full count as Osborne is piling up the pitches here in the first. 3-2 is fouled away. No, for a guy making just his 2nd start back after the rehab, this is exactly what you don't want to see if you're Mike Jorgensen.
Right. The one advantage that the Cardinals have is they have a lot of pitchers in that bullpen, and they have the best bullpen in the league. As you look at the coaching staff looking on, that's Riggins, a pitching coach. Or excuse me, that's Galen Pitts, a 3rd base coach. But they can make a change early on, but they certainly don't want him throwing this many pitches.
And he's walked his 3rd consecutive batter to load the bases with 1 out. You never know how the inning would have transpired, but that error with 1 out and nobody on proving to be costly.
Good point. And here comes Riggins out to the mound now. You know, you have 2 outs and nobody on base. Big difference.
Maybe you're not throwing the same pitch to Duncan.
Throw a high fastball to Duncan, trying to get strike 1 on him and get ahead, and he winds up hitting it out of the ballpark. And since then, he's walked the bases loaded.
Mark Riggins in his first year as the pitching coach, taking over for Joe Coleman in the offseason. Riggins has spent a number of years at Louisville, where he saw Osborne and a number of these other Cardinal pitchers. I know he had Omar Olivares for a few years, and he and Omar were talking for a while prior to the game. 33 pitches with 1 out, and we're still in the first. Well, the Phils with a chance to post a big number here in the first inning. Dave Gallagher, the batter, with the bases juiced and just 1 away. Down low, it's 1-0.
Lee Tobin from the publicity department just came in to say, yes, in fact, they did get that baseball for Mariano Duncan from that very cooperative fan out there in the outfield.
All right. So Dunk gets that baseball that he slammed over the wall. Swing and a miss on the changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tells you a little something about Donovan Osborne right now if he has to go to a changeup 1-0 with the bases loaded.
Maybe they told him to throw it a little bit more because he's not getting his other pitches over, and that is a good pitch for him.
Saw the Phillies totals. Dave Gallagher has never hit a grand slam as he falls behind 1 and 2.
These are the spots right here where the Phillies have not been producing and putting teams away. You know, they have a 2-0 lead. They have a chance to have a big inning early.
Is that caught? Nope.
It hit Hirschbeck's foot, I think.
I thought it caught Schaefer, and then he somehow squeezed it between his arm and his body, but it apparently went through.
I saw Hirschbeck jump, so it might have gotten them both. It might have gotten both of them.
Definitely got Schaefer on the arm.
There it gets Schaefer, and then it went off Hirschbeck's foot.
He was reacting in pain. I thought he was reacting to the fact that he trapped it to his body. 1 and 2 the count to Gallagher. 1 out and the base is full. In the air, shallow center. Not deep enough. Ray Lankford chases in. 2 away. So the bases remain loaded as Gallagher flies to shallow center.
And Langford does the proper thing for an outfielder in that situation. Run the middle infielders off it. You're coming in that way, and that is going to make the third base coach, if he had any thought of sending the runner, which Larry Boa didn't, I don't think, because it was too shallow, but that will make the third base coach not send him. If he sees an infielder going back on his heels, might tell him to go.
Kevin Stocker now with 2 outs will try and pick it up for Dave Gallagher. Bases remain loaded. Osborne, after allowing a 2-run home run to Mariano Duncan, walked the next 3 batters. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, nothing in 1. In the air, hit well to center field. Langford back, makes a great jumping catch to end the inning. Ray Langford on the move in center field robs Kevin Stocker of a bases clearing hit. The Phils score 2. Langford saves it from being more.
Schmitty, nobody did it better. Join in a tribute to this Hall of Famer before the Expos game Saturday, August 12th at 8:05, and you'll receive a limited edition print compliments of MAB paints. The Expo series starts Friday, August 11th at 7:35, continues Sunday, August 13th at 1:35, when fans 14 and under get the best backpack to ever strap on a back free, and wraps up Monday the 14th with a 105 Mellon PSFS Business Person Special. Call 463-1000.
Between the two of us, we had 1 chair, a lamp, and a microwave. And lots of bills. Even on 2 salaries, it wasn't easy. What we needed was a loan, with payments we could afford. Our Mellon PSFS banker helped us work it out. It made things a lot more comfortable around here.
Life Improvement Loans. Call 1-800-MELON-2. 1-800-MELON-2.
The Lexus GS 300 Touring Edition is designed to stimulate the senses. There are special wheels, special colors, and a moonroof for sight, a leather-trimmed interior for touch, and a compact displayer for hearing. What about the sense of taste? That always comes standard. Save $3,000 on the GS 300 Touring Edition while it lasts at your New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer.
This month's edition of Broad and Patterson features exclusive coverage of the NBA draft. Tony Irving profile Sixers pick Jerry Stackhouse, and local schoolboy hero Rasheed Wallace. Also featured Jim Eisenreich's work as the spokesman for the Tourette Syndrome Foundation. So join host Larry Rosen for the Emmy Award-winning Broad and Patterson tomorrow night after our ball game. The Phils jump on top of St. Louis 2-0, but once again, Wills, the Phils had a chance for more. They lead the National League in runners left on base.
Right. That's the point, Todd. You know, they had a chance to break that game open in the first inning on Jorgensen's Cardinals, and they popped up Gallagher, and Stocker hit it right on the nose. I mean, you got to give Langford some credit there. He made a tremendous play to run that ball down in right center. That's 5-0.
Here's Danny Schaefer. He's still looking at that right elbow that got hit by a foul tip in the bottom half of the first inning. Schaefer, a former Colorado Rocky, will get some extra time now as the Cardinals catcher, with Tom Pagnozzi heading to the disabled list yesterday. Fernandez starts the inning off with a slow curve outside for ball 1. Said you'll watch during his time as a Philly, still employs that slow curve that you don't quite see very often anymore. Big looping curveball. That's a fastball outside. It's 2-0. Fernandez making his second start as a Philly, his first here at the Vet. The Honolulu native pours a fastball over. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The reason Sid was a little late joining the Phillies on that road trip was he and his wife Noelani had a baby girl 10 days ago, Dominique Kahuanani Fernandez.
Happy birthday tonight, well, we won't say. We won't give the age. Kathy Brady from King of Prussia celebrating her birthday tonight. Big Phillies fan. Got a nice note from Mom and Dad, who are season ticket holders. So happy birthday to Kathy. I hope she's watching the ball game and enjoys it.
Another one fouled back, and the count stays full. When Fernandez is pitching, the crowd should stay alive because he induces a lot of foul balls.
Right. You know, Sid Fernandez has been a guy that doesn't give up many hits in a game. Way down in hits in his innings pitched totals. But he does throw a lot of pitches, high fastballs that they foul off.
High in the air. In the shallow center, Stocker weighs off Duncan, and he will make the catch for the first out. Baseball Cap Day is coming your way Sunday, July the 23rd. That's this Sunday, 1:35 against the Cardinals. All fans 14 and under receive a super soft baseball cap. All you have to do is call 215-463-1000 for tickets for this Sunday afternoon's game. John Mabry will bat. 1 out, nobody on. Westchester's John Mabry takes the ball. It's 1-0. And the next pitch is sent towards left field. Dykstra comes on and slides and makes the catch. Whole new position out there with different angles, and Lenny is adjusting every day and makes the catch there on Mabry.
Well, he gives you a heck of a left fielder, that's for sure. But anytime you have a center fielder playing left field, you're going to cover a lot of ground out there. And, you know, Whitey always says it's a lot easier playing center than it is playing left field because of the angle of the ball. So Lenny Dykstra is just trying to adapt to that new position.
I wonder what your buddy Gary Maddox will say about that.
I'm going to ask him.
Trip Cromer takes a curveball for a called strike, 0-1.
He is in the building.
Gary will join Wheels for the 4th inning commentary. Trip Cromer has taken over for Ozzie Smith. Since Smith has gone down with an injury, Cromer has been the everyday shortstop. Fastball. 0-2.
And he's dropped down in the order, too. When the Phillies played the Cardinals the first time out in St. Louis, when Cromer was playing shortstop, he was batting second. And now tonight he's hitting 8th against a left-hander.
Ozzie went on the DL with a sore right shoulder back in May, middle of the month. Transition time right now for the St. Louis Cardinals as you take a look at the Wizard, who's 40 years of age.
He's fooling around with Pulley right now, the first base umpire.
Fernandez gets that pitch on the outside corner. Mark Hirschbeck rings up Trip Cromer, and Sid has a 1-2-3 inning. Phil's lead it 2-0.
Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. Music loud and women walk. I've been kicked around since I was born. Whether you're a mother or whether you're a mother, you stay alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive.
The Pennsylvania Lottery has a new game. It's $1,000 a week for life. One more reason to stay alive.
Your advertising is your voice in the marketplace. Advertise in the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages, and your voice reaches more customers. A bigger ad gives you a bigger voice. A color ad gives your voice more impact. But if you don't have an ad, it's like having no voice at all. 9 out of 10 use it, and they're all ears. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Bell Atlantic, the heart of communication.
Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme meets Ford Taurus head-to-head in the Oldsmobile Challenge. And now with the special 4.9% GMAC Smart Lease rate, you can lease Cutlass for only $249 a month. Cutlass has more standard power, more leg and headroom, more resale value. But Cutlass is $2,150 less than Taurus. And now you can lease a new Cutlass for only $249 a month with no security deposit. Move up to Oldsmobile. Take the Oldsmobile Challenge now at your local Oldsmobile retailer.
Travel provided by U.S. Air.
US Air now offers the only daily nonstop service between Philadelphia and Frankfurt, Germany.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Philadelphia Phillies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Phillies. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. Phillies sending 8 men to the plate in the first, and Sid Fernandez will lead things off. Sid's not a bad hitting pitcher, although he has had to face 2 lefties in his first 2 starts. Osborne tonight and the wacky Carlos Perez up in Montreal.
How about this report in this day and age when you hardly see trades anymore? After this Sid Fernandez.
Is it a big one?
Well, it says there is a report that the Reds are going to deal Deion Sanders and 4 players to the Giants for Mark Portugal, Mark Lewis, and Dave Burba.
Mark Portugal, Darren Lewis?
Darren Lewis and Dave Burba.
Wow, Sid goes down quietly on 3 pitches.
It came from your father.
Are you serious? Well, that's not necessarily accurate.
Well,
wait, what was the report? Deion Sanders to San Francisco.
Plus 4 players.
Plus 4 minor leaguers?
Well, it didn't say. It just says 4 players. This was written down and handed to us.
For Mark Portugal, Darren Lewis, and Dave Burba.
Well, they need pitching right now, the Reds, desperately, because they have a bunch of starters are hurt.
I'll tell you what, Deion already plays out there in football, or at least he did last year with the 49ers, so that would be quite an outfield.
No, that is not an announced
That's not
deal.
Official.
This is just a report.
We can only speculate based on Harry Callis's report.
Your dad, we are told, got it off the wire, off the ticker. Now we are also privy to a ticker, so we'll check into it.
Okay. That would be Barry Bonds in left, Deion in center, and Glenn Allen Hill in right. There could be a lot of ground covered in that out. Well, Darren Lewis is a fine center fielder too.
Second to Marquise Grissom.
How about a little bit of showmanship in that outfield with Bonds and Sanders? That's the case.
There's
Reporter on the spot.
That's right. There's the man with the info for us.
Well, I know there was a trade on the wire earlier. The Mets made a minor trade. They sent Jason Hakame, one of their young pitchers, over to the American League, to Kansas City, for a couple of minor leaguers, including Derek Wallace, who was a top draft pick just a few years ago. 2-2 pitch. Dykstra swings and misses, so Osborne has retired 5, make that 4 in a row after walking 3 straight batters in the first.
Osborne's getting Dykstra to pull off a little bit tonight. It got him on the pop-up, and this is another breaking ball. You see him opening up, pulling off, and swings through it. Lenny knows what he did, and is trying to keep his shoulder in a little bit better against Osborne.
He started to go into it before Duncan hit that first pitch home run, but you were mentioning how Jeffries prefers the 3 spot, but he's filling the role now in the 2 spot.
Yeah, I think all guys that have his hitting ability have hit third want to hit third, because that's where you put your best hitter in your lineup, supposedly. And in this case, as a switch hitter, you know, he's set for that. But with Van Slyke here and a little more experience against right-handers, looks like Van Slyke tonight against a left-hander. It's Duncan.
0-2 pitch. Jeffries stays alive. So just trying something with Jeffries and Duncan.
Well, sure, that's what they're doing right now, is just experimenting, you know, with the baddest things have been going. I was thinking that Langford might have saved Donovan Osborne. Is that? Oh, it's a birthday party and they got a baseball. Nice going. But that catch he made out in center, 5-0, would have been. He might have been gone. What a birthday present for that guy.
Family celebrating a birthday at the ballpark, and they have a brand new National League ball. 1-2 to Jeffries, and he chops one towards short. Cromer comes in on a short hop over, not in time. Frank Pulley says safe at first. Well, Jeffries, who hardly ever strikes out, really had to fight off a tough pitch right around his ankles for that base hit.
Here's the play. Cromer does all he can do, throws on the run. Jeffries hustling down the line, beat the play. Good call by the veteran Frank Pulley. There it is on the short hop. Now all Cromer can do is trying to get something on that throw. Ozzie Smith made a heck of a living making that play, and he just beats it.
Well, Cromer did the right thing coming around to get the angle on the throw, but in doing so he cost himself catching the ball in the first big hop. And that short hop maybe allowed Jeffries to reach base. So Greg has hit 2 choppers on the infield and reached base both times.
Yeah, he was playing Jeffries up the middle, so he had to come and circle that ball.
Here's Duncan. He homered his first time up, accounting for the game's only 2 runs. Broken bat past Mabry into right field. Jeffries will hold at second. Mariano Duncan 2 for 2. And they don't have to save this baseball because he got the last one, which will symbolize his 1,000th hit.
Here's Duncan going the other way this time. Ball away from him. Jeffries has to get out of the way of the ball. He hesitates, so he can't get the third then, as the ball is charged well by Battle.
Well, really, Osborne should be out of this inning. A chopper and there a broken bat squibber that reaches the outfield. But instead the Phils have 2 aboard with 2 outs and Darren Dalton. He sends one deep to center field. Langford back to the wall. Leaping home run, Darren Dalton. 3-run home run. Phils lead it 5-0. Osborne has been killed by the home run this year, and in this inning he should have had an out of one of those 2 grounders, but they found their way for hits, and the Phils cash in.
Yeah, and it's been a long time since the Phillies have scored a bunch of runs like this. A 2-run homer and a 3-run homer. Dalton knew he hit it well, and the ball just kept going on this hot, humid night. Langford jumped for it, but it was well over the fence off the backdrop out there. 5 runs on home runs for the Phillies, and that is a nice sight for them.
It's been a long time since Darren Dalton has hit a home run. As Charlie Hayes takes a pitch for a ball, 1-0. Over a month or close to it.
I think it was at New York. Let's see, where was it?
Against
Here
Montreal.
it is. At home against Houston.
Houston. It's a sent deep to right field. Back to the track is Battle, leaping. Did he catch that? Yes, he did. Unbelievable catch. Darren Dalton, though, with a 3-run home run, his first since June the 18th, has given the Phils a 5-0 lead, and Battle ends the inning in spectacular fashion. Wow, what a catch. Phils lead it after 2 by 5.
Heads up for all kids 14 and under. Get a new style relaxed fit cotton cap in black with branded logo. Compliments of Connects when the Phillies play the Cardinals Sunday, July 23rd at 1:35. Great cap, great show. Call 463-1000.
Dad?
Yeah?
There's something I want to tell you.
What is it, son?
Well, Dad, you're my dad. And I love you, man.
You're not getting my Bud Light, Johnny. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Ray, forget it, Johnny.
You arrive home. You'll have a security gate to open and a garage door. Then you have to find the house lights. With Infinity's remarkable i30, you can get the HomeLink transmitter that lets you do these things from the safety of your driver's seat without the bother of remote controls. How much does a luxury car like this cost? Would you believe around $30,000?
Emma, seems like we've known each other forever.
Yeah, I know. 2 weeks.
Will you marry me? 'Cause Emma, I love you, man.
Oh, Johnny, you're not getting my Bud Light.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down,
Johnny?
make it a Bud Light.
Jane?
It's Joan.
Jane, Joan, whatever. I feel like I've known you forever.
Well, the 3-run home run has come back into the Phils offense, and a 2-run home run has given the Phils a 5-0 lead. Duncan a 2-run shot in the first, and Darren Dalton his first home run in 1 month and 3 days.
It was off Yorkis Perez of the Florida Marlins, a left-hander, when he hit his last home run. You gave the date.
June 18th against the Marlins here at Veterans Stadium. And Donovan Osborne, who has been killed by the home run this year, takes a called strike.
And they're being very patient, obviously, with Donovan Osborne hitless so far this year. With all those pitchers in the bullpen, they want to leave him out here tonight, even though they've hit him pretty hard.
You look at how the Phils have manufactured their runs on the big blast tonight, and it looks so easy. An error, 2 runs on the 2-run home run, and then a little dribbler infield hit and one that squibs into right field.
Yeah, Greg Jeffries actually, by busting that down the line the way that he did on that little infield hit, that turns into a 3-run play. So, you know, that's one of those things when you hustle in this game, sometimes good things can happen for you. He really busted it on that play. They get 3 runs out of it.
He chopped one towards short and just beat the throw by Cromer. And a single to right later after Mariano Duncan knocked one into right field on a broken bat. Darren Dalton connects for a 3-run shot. 0-2 the count to Osborne. He takes a pitch. It's now 1-2.
Get well tonight to Seymour Singer, just out of the hospital, and happy birthday to Bill Brooks of Abington, who's 79.
Phil's hitting 2 home runs in 2 innings, are last in the major leagues by a wide margin in home runs. Even with those 2, they have 45. Houston, this St. Louis team, and San Diego, the next closest in the big leagues with 59. So 14 home runs shy of the next team. Osborne goes down. Donovan's now 0 for 8 this year with 7 strikeouts. 3rd strikeout for Sid Fernandez. Tomorrow the homestand continues. It'll be Richie Ashburn tribute night. Make sure you come out for that 7:05 start. We'll have some of those activities for you here on Prism if you can't make it. The Rockies in town for 2, and then the Bucks in town for 2. They wrap up the homestand with a business person special at 1:05. That Wednesday game, by the way, originally a 7:35 start. That is a doubleheader. It is a makeup for a rainout earlier this season. So call for ticket information and make sure you come out and catch the Bills on this homestand. Greg Jeffries will catch the pop-up off the bat of Ramon Caraballo. 2 away quickly. Sid has retired 7 straight.
Happy 86 tonight to Mary Kovac of the Greater Northeast in Philadelphia. 86 years old to Mary. She sent a note to Whitey that she'll be watching on TV tonight. Whitey's over on radio, so we hope you're watching on Prism tonight, Mary, or that someone tells you that everybody here at the Phillies wishes you a very, very happy birthday, and thanks for watching and listening.
Here's Alan Battle. He singled his first time up on an 0-2 curveball.
Fernandez, it looks like he's a little looser. He looked like he was having a little trouble getting loose in the first inning, was hanging some pitches. Throwing the ball decent in this inning. One thing about Sid Fernandez is he will compete. The Phillies don't know what they can get out of him, but they felt he was certainly worth signing for what they had to pay for him, and they just hope he can help their ball club.
I think he was very unhappy in Baltimore. I don't think he ever really got along with Phil Reagan, their manager, and didn't really feel like he had confidence coming from the Orioles front office. So he was happy to join the National League once again. You can see he has thrown a lot of strikes early on, and that's a little bit unusual. Sid has a tendency to be wild. 0-2 on Battle. This time he wastes a fastball away. It's 1-2.
Right, Battle's one of the guys who hurt him in the first inning on an 0-2 pitch. He hit an 0-2 curveball in the center for a base hit, and then Gilkey hit an 0-2 fastball for a base hit.
Phil's lead at 5-0 on 2 big blasts. One from Mariano Duncan and one from Darren Dalton. On the outside corner, call, 3rd strike. 4 strikeouts for Fernandez. He is retired 8 straight. We're through 2.5 here at the Vet, and the Phils lead at 5-0. Andy Van Slyke, playing in his first game here at the Vet in a Phils uniform, was our guest prior to the ball game, and he talked about his days with the Baltimore Orioles prior to coming back to the National League. Very similar to Sid Fernandez. He felt maybe the Orioles didn't have enough confidence in him, and he was comfortable coming back to the National League, where it all started for him in St. Louis, and he was happy to put on a Phil's uniform, and talks about what it's like to be a Philly.
I felt more part of the team 5 minutes after I was in that clubhouse in New York than I did the whole time I was in Baltimore, and I think it was just a matter of just the whole presence of being accepted. I always felt like every day was a try all in Baltimore. I can't really explain why, but it was certainly true for me, and I think it was true for maybe some other players over there. But I think it's just because Jim Fregosi knew me, and he came right up to me and just put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Have fun and play ball," and that was really comforting.
Andy Van Slyke, at 34 years of age, started his career with the Cardinals, then had those many fine years, including the National League Eastern Division Championship years with the Buccos, then the Orioles. At the beginning of this year, he was signed out of that free agent camp in Homestead, Florida, and then over to the Phillies in that trade for Gene Harris. Andy Van Slyke, a veteran, filling the role as the Phil's center fielder, and he will lead things off for the Phils here in the bottom half of the third. Phils lead at 5-0 on a couple of big blasts. Mariano Duncan hitting his 3rd home run of the year, and Darren Dalton his 7th to tie for the team lead with Dave Holland. Van Slyke walked his first time up. Donovan Osborne starts him off with a pitch outside and low, 1-0. Osborne's allowed 4 hits. He's walked 3. And 4 of the 5 runs he's allowed have been earned. All 5 runs crossing on home runs. 1-1 the count to Van Slyke. In the air, left field. Easy play for Gilkey. 1 away. Sunday at 9 o'clock, a writer trying to survive a failing marriage meets her literary hero and falls in love. Anthony Hopkins and Deborah Winger star in Shadowlands. It's a Superstar Sunday every Sunday here on Prism. Dave Gallagher flied to center field with the bases loaded his first time up, but not deep enough to score the run. Takes a strike, 0-1. Gallagher batting at .328. Osborne ahead 0-2. A real frustrating inning for Osborne in the second. 0-2 pitch. Gallagher reaches out and pulls one to Cromer, who throws him out 2 away. In that second inning, Osborne struck out Fernandez and Dykstra to start the inning, and then an infield chopping single that Greg Jeffries did a great job to beat out, hustling all the way. Mariano Duncan breaks his bat, gets it by John Mabry at first, so put first and second with 2 outs, and Darren Dalton connected for a 3-run home run. We have the wire copy. We have confirmed the note we gave you earlier that Deion Sanders has been traded. He is now a San Francisco Giant. Played last year for the San Francisco Football 49ers. He's been sidelined as Sanders since May 31st, his Memorial Day, with that ankle. But he has joined Barry Bonds in the outfield. The trade was Sanders and 4 others for Mark Portugal, Dave Burba, and outfielder Darren Lewis.
Well, those Cincinnati Reds are serious. And they picked up the big contract, too, with Lewis. And that's one of the reasons we had heard that they were getting ready to trade him when they were here last time, because he won his arbitration, or whatever his arbitration was. It was still a pretty big hit.
The 4 players have not been named going from Cincinnati to the Giants, so we're assuming they're minor leaguers. 1-2 to Stocker. He chases one, and Schaefer will have to make the throw down, which he does. A 1-2-3 inning for Donovan Osborne. Phil still lead at 5-0 as Gary Maddox will join Chris Wheeler for the 4th.
Jay Bell and Orlando Merced lead Jim Leland's Pittsburgh Pirates into town for the 4th Mellon PSFS Business Person Special of the year, Thursday, July 27th at 1:05. Midday, midweek, Major League Baseball. Call 463-1000.
I'd do it in a second. The fans will dig it. They've waited long enough. I've just got to get the other lads to agree. I think I can convince them. I'll say, lads, the time has come to eat our pizza crust first.
Good idea, Ringo. Cool. Stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut with cheese baked into a new, thinner crust. You'll want to eat it crust first. Now with free garlic dipping sauce.
Wrong, lads.
Large is $9.99.
After years of research and thousands of technical drawings, our engineers developed a sophisticated system to help keep people out of the Lexus ES. And overnight, our accountants found a simple way to let people in. We call it the Lexus ES Lease. It's easy to get into at your New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer.
And back here at Veterans Stadium, I didn't hear anything, did you?
Yeah.
Back here at Veterans Stadium, Chris Wheeler with Gary Maddox. I want to ask you about Lenny Dykstra playing left field. How would you have liked it if you were center field and all of a sudden, say you're playing left field?
Scared to death, no question. It would have been very difficult for me to make the move from center field to left field. The hardest thing about making the adjustment, in my opinion, is from left field. I mean, from center field, it's very easy to keep the pitcher and the hitter in view, and you can watch the release point of the pitcher and you can follow the ball. From left field, you have to kind of look at the pitcher out of the corner of your eye and look for his release point, so you don't really get to follow it as clearly. To me, that makes all the difference in the world in getting the jump, and you get pretty used to that out in center field. So you see Lenny doing some funny things out there, but he's a good athlete. He'll catch the ball, you know that much.
Ball coming off the bat a little differently. Is that some effect?
Yeah, the balls hit hard there. You think of the majority of the hitters in the game being right-handed, and when they do hit the ball in left field, it has top spin on it or it's carrying deep. I look at that as a position where it's damage control. You know, a lot of balls you got to just make sure don't turn into extra base hits.
Sid Fernandez to Bernard Gilkey, and the first pitch high and outside. Yeah, and the positive part about it for the Phillies, it gives them a center fielder playing left field, which has to be better defense.
Yeah, after he gets adjusted, it definitely will mean better defense. But I see, you know, Lenny, like the ball he went after earlier in the ball game where he slid on one knee. You know, you have a tendency to give up on balls or think you don't have a chance to get to them because they're sinking or carrying, and you leave your feet thinking you have to do that in order to make the play.
Gilkey got a base hit his first time up. Gilkey, Langford, and Coles. 5-0 Phillies here in the 4th inning on 2 long balls.
It's good to have those back.
Phew. Well, this is the time of the year to hit him here. Misses inside 3. Well, what do you think about seeing Sid Fernandez in a Phillies uniform?
You know, I got the answer to the trivia question that everyone's been wanting to know. Who was my last at bat against in my career?
This guy?
It's him.
High fastball?
Yeah.
What you do with it?
No, I walked. Didn't believe that.
Fly ball to right field, hit very well. Gilkey is out there as Gallagher grabs it. That's 2 the Cardinals have hit tonight that have died on the warning track, 1 away. Your last at bat is a walk. You'll be remembered for that. That is impossible.
I do a little bit better than Mariano Duncan does. He hasn't got a walk this season.
That's true. That is amazing, though. Fernandez a little shaky in the first inning, but now has retired 9 in a row since Gilkey got that base hit. Here's Langford. He hit a fly ball to right field his first time at bat. He hit a curveball deep to right field, run down by Gallagher when Fernandez was struggling a little bit early on. Langford has been a red-hot hitter, too. Batting out of that 4-hole, leading the club in a lot of different categories. He's hit 6 home runs, has 20 RBIs in his last 12 games. What made Fernandez effective, and what can still make him effective?
Well, you know, when I played against him, he had a real good fastball, a lot better than the one he has right now. And that, whether it's because he's lost weight and his strength is missing, it could be that. But his fastball was so good that you took the breaking ball.
That came in on him, and did it hit him?
But I see guys now
foul ball.
Yeah, it had to be a foul ball. But I see now guys are able to hit the breaking ball and still get around on his fastball a little bit. So I think he's a little bit behind in his gas. And you see, but when you don't pick the ball up well, what you do is you commit early. And you see right there is what Langford did. He started his swing a little bit early because he hides the ball so well. And another thing you do is you stride. You stride and you commit in one direction. And if he has his control working and he's going to the outside part of the plate, big trouble. Get a lot of strikes just like that, you know, where he catches the batter looking.
0-2. He tried to go away from Langford and missed 1-2, but at least he's making better 0-2 pitches than he did early on when he got hurt with those. Darnell Cole's a right-handed batter to follow. 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Phillies, no runs, 2 hits, an error for the Cardinals here in the 4th inning. Fouls it off his foot, so Langford's had a tough at bat.
See, Chris, your whole swing takes a certain amount of time, and it's the same just about every time. Now, what happens is you stride at a certain point when you see the ball coming. But with Fernandez, you don't see it, so you stride in one direction. By the time you pick up the ball, it's in another place. So you end up reaching and not getting good contact. And when he has good control, he's very difficult to handle.
He's ahead of Langford, 1-2. Breaking ball and a big swing and a miss struck him out on that curveball. 2 outs here in the 4th. That is strikeout number 3, Gary. 4 actually for Fernandez.
Right. See, here's the breaking ball, and you see he's already committed and has to end up reaching for that ball. Again, way away from him. Langford had committed back towards the pitcher.
Sid in that game on Sunday in Montreal walked 2 and struck out 6. So as you look at his pitch total there, he obviously can still strike people out, and that was always effective for him. Coles takes a pitch outside. He hit a fly ball to right his first time up.
See, as a hitter, you want to watch that ball in the pitcher's hand and watch where he releases it from, and that lets you pick it up as quickly as possible. With Fernandez hiding it behind his body, it's really kind of tough to tell where the ball's coming from.
You know, you've heard people describe Fernandez as a guy who pushes the ball, throws it out of his shirt, all those things, and what it sounds like, it's what you're talking about, it's all deception.
Definitely.
1-0 to Coles. Takes a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike on Darnell Coles, a much traveled Darnell Coles, who was a member of the world champion Blue Jays back in '93. Fernandez outside, 2-1. Fernandez fastball, breaking ball, and at times will mix in a changeup, and we've seen him games where he had an excellent changeup.
You see right now he's trying to establish a pace. He's trying to work quickly,
which is not his way a lot of times. Fouled away. Late swing at a fastball there by Darnell Coles, and he was ahead in the count.
You know, a good indication is that kid battled, that he struck out looking. You know, this is a contact hitter, a guy used to putting the ball in play. He took a 3rd strike because he was fooled as to where the location was. That's what he does to hitters.
Battle one of those guys who had never seen Fernandez before, a rookie player for the Cardinals. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. High and outside, 3-2. I can remember games when he'd pitch against the Phillies and guys would chase that high fastball all night.
That's right. See, when you talk about a guy that pushes the ball, he has some movement on it too. He gets underneath it and rides that ball and goes away from the right-handed hitter.
Line down the left field line. It is foul. Tried to come in a little bit on Darnell Coles and hit it foul out of play. Sid now is 32 years of age. He was the 3rd round pick of the Dodgers back in June of '81, and of course best remembered for all those great years he had with the New York Mets. Phillies doing some things with their pitching staff right now, as that has struggled lately, and with the offense struggling the way that it did, it made the pitching look worse. Full count pitch to Darnell Coles. Strike 3 called. Hirschbeck will call that pitch away, and he did. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Phillies lead it 5-0.
The big show continues with 5 games in 4 days. First, Big Cat Galarraga and the Rockies roar in Monday, July 24th at 8:05 and Tuesday the 25th at 7:35. Then the Pirates parade in for a rescheduled doubleheader Wednesday, July 26th, starting at 5:05. See 2 games for the price of 1. Thursday, July 27th, 1:05. Enjoy a Mellon PSFS Business Person Special. 5 games, 4 days. Call 463-1000.
With more shoulder room, more hip room, and more cargo room than a Ford Ranger or Chevy S10, you could say Dodge Dakota is the perfect size for a truck. And when you can get things like air, cast aluminum wheels, and more for as low as $11,286, you could also say this Dakota 4-cylinder is the perfect size truck for your budget. Dodge Dakota. At America's Truck Stop, your friendly Dodge dealer.
Some people hate to stop for gasoline. We do it for a living. Just going from one Sunoco station to another, checking to make sure a gallon is truly a gallon, that the octane you pay for is the octane you get, that the gasoline is as good coming out of the pump as it was coming out of the refinery. So next time you're moaning because you have to pull over for gasoline, think of us. We have to stop 1,183 times this year.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By your Quality Plus 4 dealers, home of 5 of the top selling cars and trucks. By Bell Atlantic Mobile. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile. And by your Nationwood insurance dealers, your nationwide representative in Philadelphia is Thomas Gannon Jr. Sid Fernandez, the batter, 5-0. Phillies lead it. And Jim Fregosi has to think, wow, is this one easy tonight with a couple of long balls? Not easy. It's so easier so far.
So, man, a little trouble reading those promos. You didn't have that problem on national TV. I saw you doing that. You did a good job. What happened?
Did I read them right that night?
Yeah, you were great. Come back down here with us and you take us for granted.
Never.
You had a deuce of games on national TV. You did a great job.
Thank you. Got another one on Monday. It's because I've lost you as a co-share of those games. I got a few more this year.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I guarantee you Sid Fernandez gets some hits before this is all over. No, he's a good hitter.
Well, he strikes out there, and Hirschbeck is calling that pitch a little off, and Sid, that's fine with him. Well, it's time to, well, we're going to pay honor to the man tomorrow night. At 7:05 is the game, but come on out early because there's a big show for Whitey before the game, and every fan will receive a special print done by Hall of Fame artist Dick Perez, compliments of Rite Aid. There he is. It's his night tomorrow night, and he is thrilled. Let me tell you.
Man, I tell you what, I'm thrilled to be part of it. I'll be making a presentation to Whitey. So, you know, he constantly lets me know that I'm at best the second or third best center fielder they've ever had here.
I've heard him call you the second best. That's pretty good.
So I'm delighted to be part of it.
Yeah, if you're on the fence about that one tomorrow night, folks, come on out because that should be fun. Our tickets available, and we honor Whitey. I think, what they tell you, about 6:30 tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
You'll be down on the field. Harry the K's the MC.
There's a little pregame party. Are all the fans invited, or?
No, that was by invitation only. That one's hit to deep right center field, and Dykstra has his first home run of the year. Lenny Dykstra to right center. He knew he'd get one sooner or later. And the Phillies have 3 long balls in this one, and they lead it by a score of 6-0.
Osborne went to the well a little too often. He definitely had Lenny's number the first 2 at-bats, but this time Lenny gets the ball right over the heart of the plate, a little bit inside, and I mean, he turns on it nicely. Well, see, here's the pitch, Chris. Look at the inside part of the plate. He's right there. The ball that Osborne had been able to keep away from Dykstra, he got him to wave at. This one too far inside, and Lenny gets it all.
Boy, that had to feel good to him to go this long without hitting a home run. I mean, not that Lenny's a power hitter, but he's no Judy up there, that's for sure. And he just, sooner or later, you thought he was going to jerk one, and I'll tell you, that was a long one he hit.
Well, a long time ago, you thought he was going to be able to jerk one.
Really? Well, it's flying out of here tonight. We mentioned Donovan Osborne has a lot of trouble with the long ball. 7 of them coming in. Now it's 10. And there's a double down the left field line for Jeffries. And the Phillies are pounding Donovan Osborne tonight.
Well, this is a breakout game for the Phillies. You know what I mean is you get enough runs so that you have some pressure-free at bats. You know, and that's where guys will break out of it a little bit. You know, you get a big enough lead, you think you got it, then there's no pressure on you.
You know, there's a double down the line as it goes by Coles to the corner and fielded out there by Gilkey in the first inning. That could have been one of those get your head down again nights too, because they had 2, and then Langford made a spectacular running catch with the bases loaded, or they would have had 5.
Well, you know, I'm sure they had to think about that when they didn't produce in that spot, but still staying with it. Darren Dalton, you know, picked up a home run at the end of a great 2-out rally.
May 22nd, 1994 against the Mets was the last long ball for Dykstra. off Pete Smith. Well, that was on a Sunday afternoon when the Phillies were playing a lot of long ball off Smith that day. Duncan has a homer and a single in this one. He's 2 for 2. That double by Greg Jeffries, number 18 on the year, and Jeffries has a couple hits in the game. Phillies right now with 6 runs on 6 hits as Frank Pescatore gets up and starts to throw. We have not seen him before, Pescatore.
You know, in those pressure-free at-bats, you get to work on stuff. You know, things you've been thinking about needing to do. You're relaxed and you can go out and do it. But if every at-bat means something, you're going to go back to what you think you feel comfortable with and what you know. So not having pressure on you, scoring a lot of runs, is the best way to turn a slump around.
And that has to feel pretty good to him. Bounces up there. Duncan hitting in the 3-hole tonight. Andy Van Slyke has been hitting in that spot. Jeffries batting second in the new lineup that Jim Fregosi started using the other night in Colorado. Fly ball right center field. This ball sent well. Long run for Langford. He's not going to get it. It's a ground rule double. Jeffries will score. They're going to send Duncan back to second base. But Mariano has another hit. He's 3 for 3 on the ground rule double. And the Phillies are piling it on right now, and they lead it 6-0.
You know, Duncan with his home run really started this easing the pressure on the team, and he's just continued. He's gotten a couple other hits. Another double right there. He's swinging the bat good. Everybody seems to be in sync tonight.
Yeah, that's the 7th run, as they have 2 runs in the inning, and the ball is carrying, Gary, but I think Donovan Osborne's making some bad pitches.
Well, you know, that was a good hit by Duncan. It was a breaking ball. It came back towards him. He went out to meet it, didn't have a whole lot on it, and he just drove that ball well. But Osborne is definitely making some pitches. He's the type of guy, Chris, where, you know, you're going to feel comfortable off of him. He can throw a pitch out of the strike zone without having a lot of velocity. You can go out and hit that pitch, so you feel comfortable against him.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame to watch him, too. You know, when you see a guy come up that has the arm that he had and throw the way that he did a few years ago, then have problems, and then come back this way, he's a shadow of himself. And he just does not have the hard stuff that he had when he was a younger pitcher a couple years ago before he got hurt.
You know, the good thing about being left-handed is, you know, you don't have to have that good velocity. You can still pitch. If you learn how to pitch, you can stay around this league, and that's what he's trying to do, make that adjustment.
Darren Dalton with a walk and a 3-run home run to right center field. Phillies with 3 homers in this ball game. Dalton takes it down low. 2-0. They're being very, very patient with Donovan Osborne. Last time out, he went 5 1/3 innings. 4 hits, just 2 earned runs. And tonight, he's already given up 7 runs. Popped up foul way out of play down the right field line as Dalton got under that one.
See, they're showing a lack of respect for his fastball, and he's showing a lack of confidence in it as well. I mean, when he has tried to throw it for a strike, it's been hammered. That pitch right there, Darren Dalton just waved at 2 off-speed pitches, got a fastball, and was way out in front of that. So I know he's got to be a little leery about throwing the fastball. The Phillies just don't have any respect for it.
Grounded towards the hole, cut off by Coles. Long throw to first. Good play by Darnell Coles. Dalton out, and Duncan remains at second base. And that's the second out of the inning. There's Darnell Coles, who we've seen also play first base in the outfield. With a number of major league teams. He was with the Pirates at one time in this league. Charlie Hayes has walked and flied out. Osborne walked the bases loaded in the first inning and got away with that, but he hasn't gotten away with much since. Phillies with 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the fourth, 7-0.
It's amazing. Now the team starts to show signs of coming out of it. And the guy who had been consistent through all the bad times, Charlie Hayes, you know, he's struggling a little bit now.
Haven't seen many guys in this game that go a whole season without some scuffles.
Amen. Amen.
Just doesn't happen. played every inning of every game, has Charlie Hayes. He got the, I think, swinging out of his shoes in Denver, and also got called out on some pitches he didn't like. Some strikes called on him he didn't like, and got in a little bit of a funk at Mile High the last few days.
Yeah, you have a tendency to take those things a little bit harder when the team's not winning.
Playing in that Mile High atmosphere there at Coors Field, and you just want to launch all the time. And a lot of guys, you watch them, Gary, they get into uppercut swings. Changeup, swinging a foul tip, held on to by Schaefer. So it's 2-2 now on Charlie Hayes. Duncan, the runner at second. Charlie pops one up a mile high. Schaefer, the catcher, over near his own dugout and makes the play, and that'll do it. Phillies have another good inning, though. They pick up 2 runs on 3 hits. One of them, the first home run by that guy in a long time, and they lead it 7-0.
The Infiniti i30 is truly an extraordinary luxury car. It has a revolutionary micro-finished V6 that can out-accelerate many luxury V8s. It comes with patented rear multi-link beam suspension that allows for superb handling. And it does something all $30,000 luxury cars should do: perform.
It's the time that you spend as father and son. All the special memories of things that you've done. Like Billy's friends at the vet, just you and your dad. The greatest tasting hot dogs that you ever had. They're the taste of Billy. Billy's favorite Billy's Franks. They're the taste of Billy. Billy's favorite Billy's Franks.
Dad?
Yeah?
There's something I want to tell you.
What is it, son?
Well, Dad, you're my dad. And I love you, man.
You're not getting my Bud Light, Johnny.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Ray, forget it, Johnny.
Well, so far through 4 innings, everything going the Phillies' way. Good pitching by Sid Fernandez, and a potent offense by the Phillies tonight with a bunch of extra base hits, including 3, count them, 3 long balls. They hit 2 in Denver in 4 days. So this is a big, as you call it, a breakout game for them, especially with some power.
You know, what goes along with scoring runs is better defense as well, Chris. You know, guys a lot more relaxed, make those plays a lot easier.
Danny Schaefer, the batter, popped up his first time up. Schaefer spent last year with the Colorado Rockies. He's hit 3 home runs on the year, one of them against the Phillies. Schaefer graduated from Redland High School in Lewisberry, Pennsylvania, where he was an MVP in baseball, also attended Clemson. Pretty good for Sid Fernandez, who got off to a little bit of a shaky start. Schaefer pops it up right side, and it will go into the crowd. Fans have had a lot to cheer for so far tonight. Phillies here for 3 with the Cardinals, 2 with the Rockies, 3 for the Pirates, a makeup doubleheader next Wednesday. And then a business person special on Thursday.
You know, Fernandez ahead in the count right now. One thing Fergosi's going to start to look for is the fatigue factor. And a good indication of that will be when he starts to get behind hitters a lot. He's been ahead most of the night, throwing a lot of strikes.
Sid pitched into the 6th inning in Montreal on Sunday before they took him out. That's a curveball outside. 2-2 to right-handed batting Danny Schaefer, followed by John Mabry, Trip Cromer, then Donovan Osborne due to bat. And you would think they would hit for him. They have a lot of pitchers available to the Cardinals, 7 of them out in that bullpen. Fly ball center field. Andy Van Slyke coasts in, waits, makes the play. But just mentioned that business person special, number 4 against the Buccos. That'll be next Thursday at 1:05. Only one more to go after that, so come on out for a great day of fun at the ballpark. 463-1000 for your tickets, or call Mellon PSFS, or go to Mellon PSFS, Broad End, Chestnut Street. Look at all those bodies out there.
Are those the same Pirates that have beaten the Braves 18 out of the last 22 times?
It's amazing, and the Braves beat them in the bottom of the 9th last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mabry, the batter, double pumps on a breaking ball, hits it to Van Slyke. 2 outs. Give me your opinion of that man as a center fielder. Not that man, but the center fielder. That's Johnny.
Very good arm. Catches everything he gets to. Covers a lot of territory out there. I think if I had one thing to say that I didn't like, or that was different from what I think a center fielder should do, is I think he plays a little bit too deep. But he can definitely play a Gold Glover. There's no question about it. Well, 5 Gold Gloves. So
got a handful of them.
Yeah, he can play out there. Don't get me wrong.
Geronimo Pena is out to pinch hit as Trip Cromer struck out his first time, chases that high fastball, 1-1. There is the switch hitter Pena. Two balls and 1 strike to Cromer out of the Cardinals farm system, filling in for Ozzie Smith, who remains on the shelf after shoulder surgery.
I mean, one thing about Fernandez that gives you a lot of hope is the fact you're seeing guys do what they normally do when he's on, and that's swing at pitches out of the strike zone and take a lot of called strikes.
And you don't see many grounders.
Right.
In fact, you remember back in the Mets days, in his glory years, Davey Johnson would play Howard Johnson at shortstop and Ray Knight at third some nights, when Fernandez was out there, figuring he didn't have to worry about his defense that much because, yeah, they hit the ball in the air so much off him. It's lonely for the infielders when Sid Fernandez pitches. In fact, they have not had a chance yet tonight, but they're ready just in case.
You know, he's thrown a couple breaking balls, and you'll notice that a lot of them miss way outside. He tries to hit the corner with that pitch normally.
Yeah, he'll try to backdoor the hitter. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Trip Cromer. Jammed him, popped it foul out of play behind the plate. Two outs, nobody on base here in the 5th innings. 7-0 Phillies. On Trey. Strike 3 called. Fernandez is getting that pitch away, and he's making the most of it. Second time Cromer's been called out on strikes. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Great job by Sid through 5.
I need new clothes. I can't wear those. And call a florist. I need my rose.
They need more choices.
We need them fast.
To calm the diva down. Or she won't last.
We need them fast.
9 out of 10 use it. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
I don't care what you have to do to catch the ball. Imagine it's the thing you want most in this world. Just catch it!
It all comes down to this play. What? He stopped at the 5-yard line?
A&W root beer. When you want one, you want one.
Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme meets Ford Taurus head-to-head in the Oldsmobile Challenge. And now with the special 4.9% GMAC Smart Lease rate, you can lease Cutlass for only $249 a month. Cutlass has more standard power, more leg and headroom, more resale value. But Cutlass is $2,150 less than Taurus. And now you can lease a new Cutlass for only $249 a month with no security deposit. Move up to Oldsmobile. Take the Oldsmobile Challenge now at your local Oldsmobile retailer.
And a hot, humid night at Veterans Stadium. So far, the crowd has been entertained by this one as the Phillies lead at 7-0. Sid Fernandez has retired 14 in a row after giving up a couple of two-out hits. There you go. That group of people right there are related to our producer, John Slobotkin.
What, all 8 of them?
Did you pay for those tickets, John?
Jeez.
That must be the Prism box. Here's John Frascatore into the ball game, and a double switch as Gerald Perry comes into the game to play first base and bats ninth. There's the numbers on Frascatore out of Queens, New York. And the veteran Gerald Perry, now the first baseman. There he is. He will bat 7th in the lineup. Andy Van Slyke will lead it off for the Phillies against Frascatore. Van Slyke takes it up high. Andy has walked and flied to left, batting at .316 coming into the game. Now his average very volatile on an 0 for 1. As he has not played all that much. Grounded up the middle. Good play, Caraballo across his body. Will never get him. Infield hit. Andy Van Slyke to lead off the 5th inning.
Boy, he puts a swing on this that gives him some top spin on the ball that, I mean, look at how the ball reacts here. Boom. Top hand rolled over, and that ball just takes a hop and just picks up speed. No way they're going to get him on that play.
So Van Slyke with an infield hit, and that'll bring up Dave Gallagher batting 7th tonight. Gallagher and then Stocker and then Fernandez due to hit. And the first pitch to Gallagher outside. He has flied out to center and grounded to short. Frascatore's been used as both a starter and a relief pitcher. Inside to Gallagher. They're playing off Van Slyke at first. Now the first baseman Perry is trying to get Frascatore's attention to show him right there that he's going to play off him with a 7-run lead. Phillies leading by 7. And the no-no, of course, is you don't run when you're ahead by that much.
That is correct.
Or you get your teammates thrown at sometimes. Three balls and no strikes now on Gallagher. Frascatore, 6'1", a 210-pounder. He's 25 years of age. I mentioned out of Queens, and it was a draft choice of the Cardinals. Gets it over for a strike. 24th round, June 1991. Last year pitched at AA, AAA, and in one game in the big leagues. Pass tripped Cromer into center field. He deflected it, and Van Slyke will hang on. Andy thought about heading to third on that when it was deflected by Cromer, but he stops at second. So 2 hits in the inning for the Phillies, 2 on and nobody out for Stocker.
This ball fools Cromer. I mean, it was a big swing, but, you know, he kind of timed that dive when all he had to do was just take another step and reach down, and he'd, you know, at least had a play at second base.
That guy probably would have made that play. And there's your old buddy Jose beside him.
Yeah, I know the Wizards looking to get back. Junior talking to him.
Jose saying, now, is that the way you would have made that, Ozzie?
And you look at Junior, it's like he's probably telling a joke with that expression on his face.
Ooh. Stocker hits it high in the air to center field. Langford makes the play, and Andy Van Slyke will tag and head for third. Phillies are doing everything right tonight. Stocker's 0 for 3, but he's hit it pretty hard twice.
You know, I don't understand how that throw comes into second base like that. It wasn't that deep. It was high enough to where you had time to get behind it and come up and make a strong throw. You never know. I mean, I can understand if you're back by the fence, but in a situation like that, you go ahead and charge, you throw the third base, hit the cutoff man.
Wait a minute, that's Battle playing center field. Now, I didn't think that was Langford. Mabry is now in right field, so those are the changes. Those were not the changes we got from the press box either. That's Battle in center and Mabry in right and Perry at first. And Sid Fernandez fouls it off. So we'll get the new lineup for you as soon as we can, but those are the defensive changes along with the new pitcher.
Tim, man, I'm telling you, this guy's a good hitter.
Well, you notice Fregosi let him have a hack. He's not going to a bunt here. Of course, he has a 7-run lead, too. Sid swings and misses. Well, Gary coming into the game tonight, he's a 191 lifetime hitter with a homer and 31 runs batted.
Told you.
That's a lot of RBIs.
It's a high average, too.
One ball and 2 strikes to Sid.
And I know he's lost a lot of weight, but he's still big, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's never going to be small. Fouls it back off the catcher Schaefer. He's been nailed a couple times tonight. Pagnazzi's already on the disabled list, so they can't afford to lose him.
This is a good fastball here. Sid just a little tardy, but, you know, good swing.
Whistles high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Fernandez. Runners at the corners. Gallagher at first, Van Slyke at third. Just 1 out in the 5th inning. Phillies leading at 7-0 behind that guy, who has retired 14 in a row after giving up a couple hits in the 1st inning. Chased one there, struck him out, 2 outs. And Sid has struck out all 3 times tonight. And Dykstra, the batter, Lenny with a home run his last time up. Down low, Dykstra hit a long home run to right center field off Donovan Osborne his last time up. His first home run since May of last year. I'm sure he's glad to get that over with.
I'll tell you, he had a smile on his face when he went out to the outfield after that long inning.
Ripped right at the second baseman Caraballo. Lenny hit it on the nose, and that'll do it. Phillies don't score in the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Through 5, 7-0 Phils.
No matter what the sport, what the record, what the year, when a Philadelphia team plays a New York team, there's more on the line. The stakes are higher. And our Phillies battle the New York Mets Tuesday, August 8th, Wednesday, August 9th, and Thursday, August 10th, all at 7:35. Philadelphia, New York. Butler, Bonilla, Jones, Franco, Dalton, Morandini, Schilling, Slocum. Let's get it on. Call 463-1000.
Emma, seems like we've known each other forever.
Yeah, I know. 2 weeks.
Will you marry me? 'Cause Emma, I love you, man.
Oh, Johnny, you're not getting my Bud Light.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Johnny?
Make it a Bud Light.
Jane?
It's Joan.
Jane, Joan, whatever. I feel like I've known you forever.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3, Power Plus, and Power Premium gasolines are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks. And you may feel like you've left your old car behind.
Oh, add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
True or false? All germs are bad for you. False.
A bacterium called E. coli lives in your lower intestine and helps digest food. But this same bacterium can make you ill if it enters your body through a wound or in food.
Sixth inning baseball. Chris Wheeler with Gary Maddox. Todd will be back in the 7th. We'll be back at you on Prism tomorrow night, beginning with the pregame show at 6:30, and that will be Whitey's show tomorrow night. Rich Ashburn being honored. The ball game at 7. Danny Jackson on the mound against Bobby Munoz off of rehab. And Sid Fernandez giving the Phillies a good outing tonight as we move to the 6th inning. And Sid wants to talk to Darren Dalton about something before the inning begins. Here's Bobby Munoz alongside Kevin Elster. Bobby coming off a tremendous outing his last time out, and his rehab ran out. He pitched really well. Had 10 strikeouts, I believe, in that game, so he will pitch here tomorrow night. Here's Frascatore. He's batting 9th. We've had him all over the place. Frascatore is going to stay around for a while and pitch some innings. You see he's 0 for 6 so far this year. Batting right-handed against Sid Fernandez. Frascatore 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts.
Boy, how can they call that pitch a strike?
I don't know, Whitey.
I'm sorry.
You guys have a little bigger plate than others. John Frascatore, the pitcher. Donovan Osborne had 1 at bat and struck out. Sid Fernandez has 7 strikeouts so far. And he got him to chase 1 there. Number 8 for Fernandez, 1 out here in the 6th. Photo ball. That's on Tuesday, July 25th at 7:35 when the Rockies are here. It's the start of another collection of those popular photo balls. This one is for all fans 14 and under. They'll receive a Steve Carlton photo ball, compliments of Burger King. So come on out next Tuesday night. Watch those very, very interesting Colorado Rockies come to town. And call 463-1000 for your tickets. Those Rockies are fun to watch.
Yeah, I just saw them. It was a blast. They were funny.
Yeah, they're an interesting ball club. They don't play anywhere near as well on the road as they do at home, but they have a heck of a chance to win their division. Caraballo's 0 for 2.
And they have what, a 5-game lead, and that's about the closest race there is in the National League.
Caraballo fouls it out of play down the line. He's a switch hitter.
Here's a correction. The Cardinals changed the last half inning. Gerald Perry's now playing first base. He's batting 4th. Alan Battle moves from right field to center field. John Mabry moves from first base.
1 ball and 1 strike on Caraballo. The Gerald Perry, if you're keeping score in pencil at home and want to get it correct, is batting 4th. Here's a 2-1 to Caraballo. He leaves his feet and hits that one out of foul. That foul ball down the left field line. Did he take a hack at that thing?
That thing was over his head. He had in his mind that he was going to have to get it started early, no matter where it was. Look at the ball way up there. That's ball 3.
And those feet come up. He's a little guy playing a big man's game. He's hit 2 home runs. Used to be in the Atlanta organization. Hits a BB to left. Dykstra on 1 hop. And that's the first base runner off Sid Fernandez since a single by Bernard Gilkey back in the 1st inning.
That was a fastball right down the middle. Here you see it right down the middle.
Fernandez had retired 15 in a row as that goes on to 1 hop out there to Lenny. And Caraballo on with 1 out for Alan Battle, who has singled and struck out. 8 strikeouts for Fernandez, and he has not walked a batter.
Because they won't let him.
Good point.
That's what I mean.
Phillies are getting their bullpen up now for the first time tonight. Toby Borland starting to throw. Sid Fernandez now at 5 1/3 innings. That's how far he pitched on Sunday. Floyd Rayford out there, who's helping out in the bullpen with Mike Ryan on the shelf, although Irish is back with the ball club today. Rayford played for the St. Louis Cardinals. No balls and 2 strikes. On the rookie Allen Battle, Brian Jordan out with some sore ribs. So with Gilkey back in the lineup in left, he was not playing the last time the Cardinals were here. Battle moves to right field and now has moved to center in this one. Here's Sid at 81 pitches. Swing and a miss by Battle. Struck him out. Second time he struck out. 9 of them for Fernandez. 2 outs in the 6th inning.
I mean, Battle's fooled on a fastball here. This is a contact hitter. Look at him. He's fooled. The ball's right by him. It's on the outside part of the plate. He can barely even get the bat to it. So Fernandez good at hiding the ball. And once he hides it and then releases it, the hitters don't even have a good idea where it's going.
Well, Sid has always been a strikeout pitcher. Gilkey pops one foul, first base side. It'll go out of play. Sid Fernandez with 1,739 1/3 innings in his career and 1,590 strikeouts. That's a strikeout pitcher.
Yes, sir.
As he wants a new baseball. Career high for Sid is 16. He will not get there tonight, not because he doesn't have the stuff, because they won't leave him in there that long. In fact, this might be it for him. With a 7-0 lead.
There it is.
Breaking ball and a beauty over for a strike. Tell you what, he's done a heck of a job tonight.
He sure has.
Just a little outside, 1 and 2. Has that been a strike other times?
Yeah, he's definitely called that a strike earlier, but you saw what Fernandez did. Big breaking ball inside part of the plate, then tried to sneak that fastball right by him a couple of inches outside, which he's been getting all night.
Mark Hirschbeck, good ball and strike umpire back there tonight. Here's the pitch, breaking ball, and he just fouls it off, does Bernard Gilkey.
You think he's a good ball and strike umpire?
See, I like those guys that expand it a little bit.
That's not, you know, I understand expanding the plate in, out, but up and down, I mean, no.
You think he's been up and down too?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, some nights he's a good ball and strike umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul back. Gilkey, boy, he gets curveball, fastball, curveball, fastball. That one he was on, it looked like, even though it was a little high.
I mean, you can swing at that high fastball all you want. You're not going to get on top of it and be able to drive it anywhere.
Yeah, and with Fernandez, when he had that real good fastball, nobody could get on top of that pitch. See which way Dalton wants to go.
Ooh, off speed.
Change up. There it is, and he got it over. That ball had some movement on it. Gilkey didn't like it, but that's strikeout number 10 for Sid Fernandez. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base, and what a job that guy's done. If in fact his night is over, we shall see, but he's given them 6 strong innings. So now it's time for us to take a look at the Budweiser scoreboard. The Dodgers are down in Florida tonight, and they're winning that game by a score of 5-1 in the 6th inning. Barry Larkin has a 2-run home run for the Cincinnati Reds, who picked up a bunch of new players this evening. We documented that for you. Montreal 4, Pittsburgh nothing. They are in the 5th inning. San Diego and Atlanta, the Braves lead at 3-0 at Atlanta. San Francisco 3, Houston 2 in the 3rd inning. Jeff Bagwell's been hot lately. He has an RBI double in that one. And the Mets are out at that beautiful Coors Field to play the Colorado Rockies. They will be getting underway shortly. Let's go to the American League scoreboard. Boston scoring a lot of runs tonight. Mo Vaughn has a grand slam in that one for Boston. 10-3, they lead it in the 6th. Toronto 4, Seattle 1 in the 5th inning. Wade Boggs an RBI hit for the New York Yankees. 2-1, they lead the Rangers in the 5th inning at the stadium in the Bronx. Kansas City 2, Baltimore nothing. That game in the 4th inning. Milwaukee won the Chicago White Sox nothing in the 4th. And out on the coast, Cleveland, Oakland, and Detroit at California. That's your Budweiser Major League scoreboard as we have it up to date. John Frascatore will be in for his 2nd inning of work. Sid Fernandez, Gary, striking out the side in the 6th inning.
Well, he starts off with the pitcher here. I mean, he fell behind 2-0 and then got him to start chasing a couple of pitches. That pitch again, not a strike. And you see here Battle. He's going to chase a pitch outside and not quite catch up with it. Again, good location for Sid Fernandez. And this is a changeup right here that freezes Gilkey, and he can't even offer at it. That was a strike.
Yeah, sure was. We saw the Darren Dalton put the waggle down right before that. I don't think he's thrown a whole lot of changeups tonight, but that was a pretty good one.
Well, it was a perfect call, Chris, and you documented the fact that he had thrown him fastball, curveball, and he mixed it up with a changeup, and it worked perfectly.
Big night for Greg Jeffries against his former mates. Jeffries has been on base 3 times on an error, a single, and a double, and scored 3 runs tonight. Down low, 2-0. Jeffries hustled or beat out that infield hit in the 2nd inning, and then Duncan followed with a squib hit to right. Dalton hit a 3-run homer, turned it into a 5-0 game because of the hustle of him.
You know, I never played on a team that was going for a wild card berth because the wild card was not around at that time. But I guess it must be hard to all of a sudden be going for first place and then find yourself having to fight for a wild card berth.
Well, they don't have much choice right now. Ball inside, ball 4. I mean, it's not like the Phillies don't have any chance to win the division.
They do.
However,
well, you know, not a chance so much to win the division. I think that'll be very difficult, but it should still motivate these guys here, knowing that if they turn it around, you know, Dykstra or Jeffries or Dalton may not hit their regular numbers, but if they turn it around and get hot from here on out, you know, they can carry them into that wild card spot.
Well, that's what Fragosi's been saying for a month now. You know, sooner or later, the guys who have hit in the past will hit again, and he keeps saying it over and over to the point where you wonder if he even believed it.
Well, I think he believes it. I think he's just trying to get the players to do it. It's so hard, Chris, to get that, try and get that positive attitude going again when you've gone through the type of free fall that the Phillies have gone through. That's his job. That's Jimmy's chore, and I'm sure he's working on it the way he's learned to do it with all his experience.
Well, he does that very well. Three hits tonight for Mariano Duncan and a couple of runs scored out of the 3-hole. There you see once again they're not going to hold Jeffries on. The walk to Jeffries was the first from John Frascatore on in his 2nd inning. Duncan fouls one out of play.
Jeffries down there talking to Perry, old teammates.
First baseman.
Perry saying, well, I hated to see you go, but I'm getting a little more playing time now.
Yeah, Perry actually has played a little bit of first base where he used to be exclusively a pinch hitter. Outside to Duncan, 1-2. On deck is Darren Dalton. 7 runs, 9 hits, and no errors for the Phillies. 0-3-1 for St. Louis. As we look at Dutch with a 3-run homer tonight. Duncan swings and fouls another one back. Phillies have not won consecutive games since they beat the Cardinals. And that was back in June on a Saturday and a Sunday, June the 24th and 25th. So that gives you some idea of the problems they've had since then.
Well, it's just so ironic that they set the record for having not lost consecutive games.
Swinging and a miss at a high fastball, struck him out. Yeah, they didn't lose a game 30-some games into the season. They didn't lose 2 in a row. So it's been a roller coaster ride for them this year. Now, Gary brought up those wild card standings, and you see the Phillies trail the Houston Astros 2.5 at this point. So that's a team that they have to shoot for. And, of course, Montreal and the Dodgers say, well, we got a shot here, too. It's a long way to go.
Right. It's a whole nother race altogether. I think the big numbers are in the loss column. The Phillies are 3 behind in the loss column in terms of catching the Houston Astros.
They have a 3-game series with those Astros in August down at the Astrodome. Dalton 1 for 2 tonight with that 3-run homer to right center, his 7th of the year. Ball hit hard and in the hole to right, a base hit past Perry. Stopping at second is Jeffries, and Dalton has his 2nd hit of the ball game. Phillies have 2 on And one out for Charlie Hayes.
You know, Perry playing off the bag behind Jeffries, you know, allowed Jeffries to get off far enough to distract his view when that ball came through. I think he was late picking up the ball, and so Darren Dalton gets a base hit for it. You see there, Jeffries has to hold up a little bit, blocks the view of Perry, and the ball's by him before he can make a move.
Yeah, normally with the runner playing off the runner, you're going to take away hits. And that time it didn't happen. See, Dalton is on a 5-game hitting streak, playing with a very sore quadricep muscle and a sore shoulder. Hayes beats one towards third. Darnell Coles will go to first. Got him. And that's the second out of the inning. The runners move up. Jeffries to third and Dalton to second. For Andy Van Slyke. Base open. 2 outs. Dave Gallagher on deck. A right-handed batter. 7-0 Phillies here in the 6th inning. We'll be back at you on Prism tomorrow night. Gary will be back with us after he makes his presentation down on the field to Whitey. We will have some of that for you in our pregame show tomorrow night. Van Slyke takes a strike call. Andy tonight has an infield hit. He's flied out and walked.
Boy, I tell you, can't forget how much of an offensive threat Van Slyke can be when he gets it going. Man, he can put some numbers up there for you.
Yeah, well, you know, they were going to put him right in the lineup when they got him because Dykstra was hurt. They did, and he played a game and about a third and hurt that rib cage area. Took him a while to get back, but since he's come back, he's been in center, and Dykstra's been in left, Jeffries at first. Strike 2 called to Van Slyke. And he nods in agreement.
There's a little tip for, you know, kids that watch and play the game. Look how he holds the bat. Look at the index finger on his right hand, not even on the bat. Sometimes you put that index finger on there and it kind of locks you up, but he keeps that index finger very loose on the bat.
Outside, kind of like the way they tell you with a golf grip, you know, don't put that death grip on it.
That's right, and don't put that finger on it, because when you have that index finger, it just kind of tightens it up a little bit and locks it. So it really allows him to be free with that bottom hand. See that index finger off of there? Not even needed.
Well, this guy has always been a good hitter. 2-2. Power, speed. 5-time Gold Glover. Great career for Andy Van Slyke in this league.
Bonds, Bonilla, and Van Slyke.
No wonder they won some games. Huh? What an outfield they had. And they're all sayonara, which tells you what it's like out in Pittsburgh right now. They can't afford to pay those guys.
Great little second baseman they had, Jose Lean. Remember, they were.
Jay Bell.
Yep.
3-2 to Van Slyke. Down the line, foul, out of play. Looks like he's trying to pitch around him at this point, and Van Slyke's chased a few. Hey, yeah, you're up by 7-0. I guess you want to hack.
Right. He went for a perfect pitch, Van Slyke. He's had his head in the game. He knows this guy might call anything a strike. So with 2 strikes, you're not going to take that chance.
Not with some ducks on the pond. He's got 2 out there, second and third and 2 outs. No chance on that one. He walked them. They're loaded for Gallagher. 1 for 3 with an infield hit to short. Second walk of the inning issued by John Frascatore, who is pitching his second inning behind the starter Donovan Osborne. Frascatore looks like he's going to work from the stretch with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Phillies with 10 hits in the game, Cardinals with 3. Tried to check, couldn't. Strike.
See, Gallagher, who plays against primarily left-handers, you know, is facing a guy with a pretty funky delivery here.
Slider beaten off the end of the bat. Here comes Cromer on the run, throws, got him. That'll do it for the Phillies. Gary, we'll see you tomorrow night on Whitey's Night. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Phillies leave them loaded. After 6, they lead at 7-0.
the past 3 years, Dodge has offered a choice of more new nameplates than anybody else. Now Dodge offers some other choices that make driving the Dodge Intrepid remarkably easy. During the Dodge Buyer's Choice sale, get a new Intrepid and choose up to $1,897 in cash savings and values. Or choose an interest rate as low as 1.9%. Or an Intrepid lease rate of only $219 a month. The Dodge Buyer's Choice sale. It makes visiting your friendly Dodge dealer a very smart choice indeed.
Taste this. It's something different for your sensitive teeth.
Tastes great, but my dentist wants me to use Sensodyne.
This is Sensodyne. Sensodyne Cool Gel.
Hey, no pain. All I feel is cool and clean.
Sensodyne Cool Gel. All you feel is cool and clean.
I'd do it in a second. The fans will dig it. They've waited long enough. I've just got to get the other lads to agree. I think I can convince them. I'll say, lads, the time has come to eat our pizza crust first.
Good idea, Ringo. Cool. Yeah. Stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut with cheese baked into a new, thinner crust. You'll want to eat it crust first. Now with free garlic dipping sauce.
Wrong, lads.
Large is $9.99.
Where in the hell do you get off trying to put together another team? Guys like you and kids like that, I mean, they can't help it, they're no good.
Who are you, Vince Lombardi all of a sudden? It's Pee Wee football.
Oh my God, Coach is a vampire!
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich? You'll never get anywhere treating your helmet like a lunchbox, son.
Want intimidation? I'll show you intimidation.
Top of the 7th inning, Phillies in a commanding position for the first time in a while. 7-0 they lead this one. What a job by Sid Fernandez. And Toby Borland now comes on in the 7th inning. There are the numbers on Toby, just back from AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Had a couple of good outings against the Rockies at Coors Field in Denver. Sid Fernandez, 6 innings, 3 hits, no walks. And Todd Callis, he had 10 strikeouts and did a heck of a job tonight. And you got the play-by-play the rest of the way.
Thanks, Wheels. Borland and the rest of the bullpen will try and keep this game intact. And if so, Sid will win his first game in over a year. Sid Fernandez did not have a win this season between Baltimore and his first start with the Phillies. But quite a night tonight for El Cid, as Gerald Perry will bat for the first time this evening. He came on in the 6th inning. We thought it was a double switch, but it turned out to be straight up. So the pitcher Frascatore led off in the 6th inning, and Perry stayed in the cleanup spot, taking over for Ray Langford, who was 0 for 2 tonight. Perry on the year is batting .127, primarily used as a pinch hitter. Phillies lead it 7-0. 3 home runs tonight from a team that had just 4 total since the All-Star break. Playing 8 games since the break. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chopped high in the air. Stocker over. Nicely done by Kevin Stocker. That ball was chopped high in the air. Maybe it bounced off the plate, but Kevin Stocker had to move in a hurry to make that play. See if it hits the plate. Just in front of the plate off that hard dirt, and Stocker had to range far to the left of the bag and make the off-balance throw to get Perry. The Stocker's had his share of problems on the road, but here at the vet, he has played some outstanding defense. Here's a ball ripped to left field for a base hit. Darnell Cole swings the first pitch he sees and singles to left. So he's a 1-out base runner. 1995 yearbook, a full-color book with special sections celebrating this year's silver anniversary. It's available at the vet for $7, or you can order by calling 215-463-1000, a $4 mail and handling charge for the 95 yearbook. Ground ball fouled, chopped by Danny Schaefer. Schaefer's 0 for 2 tonight. He's flying to center twice, once to shallow center. Slider outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Ground ball to Hayes. Hayes to Duncan, off balance relay in time. The Phils turn 2 around the horn. One hit, nobody left on base. 7th inning stretch time. It's been all Phillies tonight. They lead it 7-0.
First I figured I'd forgotten where I'd parked. And then I knew. I called my husband, the police, and Ken, my nationwide insurance agent.
Willie was upset. You don't get your car stolen every day.
2 days later, my car showed up.
Broken windows, scratches, I mean, nothing major.
It wasn't a pretty sight, but the check sure was. Ken got it to me the next day.
Helping someone, it's a good feeling. That's why I'm a nationwide agent.
Nationwide is on your side.
Pupils dilated, heart palpitating, palms sweaty, mouth dry. You never felt better. The Lexus SC300 lease. Just $9.99 down and $5.99 a month. If symptoms persist, see your New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer.
It's the time that you spend as father and son. All the special memories of things that you've done. When Phillies friends at the vet, just you and your dad. The greatest tasting hot dogs that you ever had. They're the taste of Philly. Philly's favorite Phillies Franks. They're the taste of Philly. Philly's favorite Phillies Franks.
Heads up for all kids 14 and under. Get a new style relaxed fit cotton cap in black with branded logo. Compliments of Connects when the Phillies play the Cardinals Sunday, July 23rd at 1:35. Great cap, great show. Call 463-1000.
We head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. The Phils in command by that 7-0 score. 3 home runs tonight. One by Mariano Duncan, a 2-run home run. One by Darren Dalton, a 3-run shot, his first in over a month. And one by the dude, Lenny Dykstra, a solo home run, his first in over a year. Kevin Stocker to lead things off here for the Phils in the 7th. He is 0 for 3. Retired on a nice running, jumping catch by Ray Lankford back in the 1st inning when the Phils sent 8 men to the plate. Ground ball towards the hole. Perry cuts it off nicely. To Frascatore covering, and there's one away here in the 7th. Toby Borland will get a rare chance to bat. Happy anniversary, number 56, to George and June Augustine of Ocean City, New Jersey. Here's Toby Borland. Has one plate appearance this year. It resulted in a sacrifice fly. No official at bats, but he does have a run batted in.
Toby's up there swinging the bat, boy. He looks like he wants to hit. He's not one of those pitchers saying, well, just get me out of here. And he sure doesn't get many chances to hit, as you said.
Not bad.
Oh, I'm telling you.
He's going to reach. No.
Oh. Frank Pulley punches him out.
Frank almost hit him. Fans reacting to Mr. Pulley, your buddy.
He got 3 pretty good swings there.
Tell you what, he almost hit Toby Borland.
There's Bobby Munoz sitting on the bench. He'll pitch tomorrow. Toby gets a pretty good rip at this. It's bobbled there by Caraballo. Toby running hard. Got him. He was out. And here's Frank's call. Oh, look out. Little right cross there.
In the air to left field. The dude will be retired by Bernard Gilkey for the final out. So Frascatore with a 1-2-3 inning trying to restore some order, but the Phils lead 7-0.
Recently, we at the Blues met the challenge of the 90s when the Norristown School District employees went all blue with personal choice. The
Blues really came through for the district, saving us almost $2.5 million, money we put into the classroom. The Blues went all out and provided us with the Personal Choice Network that includes most of their doctors and hospitals. No wonder other school districts are following our lead with Personal Choice. All blue means everybody wins.
Isn't it time to find out how Personal Choice can help your organization lean on all blue?
The Bud Light Amateur Beach Challenge. They're lean. They're mean.
Oh, they're killing us. Yeah. How about 2 out of 3?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down,
What's wrong with her?
make it a Bud Light.
Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme meets Ford Taurus head-to-head in the Oldsmobile Challenge. And now with the special 4.9% GMAC Smart Lease rate, you can lease Cutlass for only $249 a month. Cutlass has more standard power, more leg and headroom, more resale value. But Cutlass is $2,150 less than Taurus. And now you can lease a new Cutlass for only $249 a month with no security deposit. Move up to Oldsmobile. Take the Oldsmobile Challenge now at your local Oldsmobile retailer.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. Buy your local Dodge dealers. Come in today because we know how to help. Buy the Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 people use the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. And buy Pico Energy. We're focusing our energies on you. Pico Energy. Here we're in the 8th inning of a 7-0 Phillies lead. The last time Donovan Osborne started a game here at the Vet, the Phils were victorious 10-0. Tonight he allowed 7 runs, 6 of them earned on 3 home runs from a team that has been struggling for the long ball all season long. Here's John Mabry, who grounds one to Charlie Hayes. The throw across in time. Mabry's now 0 for 3. Excuse me. Jeffries was off the bag. Well, the fans were getting on Frank Pulley earlier about punching out Toby Borland, and here he says Jeffries was off the bag.
And he's right.
Did his heel come down?
He came back with that back foot, it looked like, but it was probably not in time.
Well, I guess heel came down. I don't know if it grazed the bag or not.
Yeah, so Jeffries will get an error on that play.
So Mabry lives on the error by Jeffries, and here's Trip Cromer. This should take care of Mabry. Stocker Duncan. Jeffries is pulled off the bag. Oh, the Phils are giving away some outs here in this game. Or in this inning, rather. But in this game, it's 7-0, so hopefully it won't come back to haunt them.
Yeah, that should be a lot easier for Toby Borland right now. This is a dead double play ball. Duncan's throw is wide. Jeffries dives for it. We'll never know if he could have stayed on the bag or not because the ball rolled away.
It's been an adventure for Jeffries in this inning.
So the only error in the inning so far, of course, is the one charge to Jeffries. No error on that play because you can't assume a double play.
Scott Heeman just called up from AAA Louisville. He was with the Cardinals earlier this year, and while up with them earlier, he was just 4 for 47, batting .085. Former Oakland A, #1 draft pick. Takes a pitch. It's 2-0. I'll check that 1-1.
From the University of South Florida in Tampa?
Yeah, he went to Dunedin High School, which is right around the corner from where the Phillies train in Clearwater. It is the home of the Toronto Blue Jays. Still lives in Dunedin. 2-1 the count to Heeman. Cromer on first with 1 out. Right down the middle, 2-2. The Phils, if they hold on to win this game and they lead at 7-0 here in the 8th, will avoid losing here at the Vet for the 8th straight time, and that hasn't happened since back in 1972. On the ground, this is a tougher chance for 2. They try and make a turn, and they do so. 3 ground balls resulted in 3 outs, but it wasn't the conventional way, and the Phils will take it. No runs, hits, 1 error, no one left. We head to the bottom of the 8th, 7-0 Phils.
It's like having a Phillies ticket window come right to your home. Call 463-1000 and reserve your tickets in advance. No rushing, no waiting, no hassle. 463-1000. It's like having a Phillies ticket window right in your home.
Who's worried about the air we're breathing? Who's controlling emissions and expanding the use of non-polluting fuels? And who's already decreased the pollutants in our air by more than 3 million tons a year? Who? People like you. People who live here. People who know what you care about.
You talk to the feds tomorrow, I'll kill you.
Have we played enough games here?
What did Roman tell you in that car?
A man lies dead by his own hand, yet this boy remains silent.
I wasn't in that car.
You and I both know he doesn't know anything.
We need to talk to this child. We know more about your client's actions than you do.
Sometimes being strong means asking for help.
I don't know nothing.
You've got to either start telling me the truth. I'm scared.
On the Budweiser scoreboard in the American League, Big Mo Vaughn with a grand slam as the Red Sox are pounding Minnesota in the 8th. Toronto doubling up Seattle 4-2. That also in the 8th. New York 4-3 over Texas in the 7th. Baltimore 6-4 over Kansas City. That game in the 4th inning. Milwaukee and Chicago 2-2 in the 7th. And on the West Coast in about 15 minutes, Cleveland and Oakland. Detroit takes on California. Here at the Vet, it's 7-0, and the Cardinals have a new pitcher, their third of the evening. It is former Philly Jeff Parrott who takes over. Good job done by John Frascatore, who goes 3 shutout innings after Donovan Osborne left after 4. So Parrott comes on, the 33-year-old who pitched with the Phils and Atlanta prior to joining St. Louis Cardinals. He was signed to a minor league contract back in April of this year.
Yeah, he spent a little bit of time with the Rockies organization too, and then had to have a reconstructed elbow, I believe it was, and has made a pretty good comeback as Jeff.
Jeffries sends the pitch to center field. Allen Battle squeezes, 1 out. Parrott's also pitched with Oakland in '92. There's his numbers on this season: 2-3, a 5.10 ERA, appearing in his 34th game on the year. More hits than innings pitched, and about a strikeout an inning. Barry Allen Duncan with a chance to hit for the cycle. He needs the hardest part of the quartet of hits. He needs the triple. He homered in the first inning to get the Phils offense moving. Singled in the second inning. And doubled in the 4th. Struck out his last time up.
Parrott's always had a real good hard curveball, and there it was there. And that shows you he must be okay if he can still throw that thing after having that elbow problem.
5,073 games have gone by, Wheels, without the Philly player hitting for the cycle.
Give Johnny a little more pub, huh?
Johnny Callis. 5,073. Quite a few opportunities.
You know, we talked about that the other night because up in Montreal, they've had 4 guys do it. And they've been in the league since '69. Rondell White, the latest, with that 6-hit game he had in San Francisco. And Johnny Callison back in '63, the last Philly to hit for the cycle.
Duncan takes that 2-1 pitch, a little bit unusual. It's 2-2. Duncan may have had a triple had his ball back in the second inning stayed in play, or back in the 4th inning. That ball was a ground rule double. Curveball gets him. Duncan strikes out for the second time. First strikeout for Parrott.
Jeff Parrott throwing this breaking ball really well. The Cardinals have an excellent bullpen as he strikes out Duncan on the hook. They're a tough team when they get ahead of you late, especially with Hanke, who's been perfect this year. So the Phillies have him where they want him tonight, ahead of the Cardinals by quite a bit here late in the ballgame.
There's Darren Dalton. He's had a nice night. Been on base 3 times, including that big 3-run blast back in the second. 2 for 3 overall. Hit in the air to center field. Battle is there. Jeff Parrott has a 1-2-3-8. So we head to the 9th. The Phils on top, comfortably.
Whether you're negotiating a deal,
Okay, if you're good, I'll read you a story.
Come on, make it 2.
calling in an order,
Skip the strawberry.
We want chocolate.
scheduling a meeting,
I'm at the Big Artichokes.
or just checking in with the boss.
Honey, is it okay if I stay another half hour?
The most important thing
Hello?
is that the call goes through. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile, the heart of communication. Call 1-800-255-BELL.
We could use another bathroom, but I really had my heart set on a new kitchen. Until the furnace went. But instead of putting everything on hold, I got a Mellon PSFS line of credit. We'll be okay. I got the money I needed, even a little extra, for other important things.
Life Improvement Loans. Call 1-800-MELON-2. 1-800-MELON-2.
Jump on board with Steven Seagal in a film critics declare the best action adventure of the summer. Loaded with high-speed thrills. If you love action, this one is right up your alley. And Siskel and Ebert give it 2 thumbs up, a real good time. Now, adventure has a new commander. Steven Seagal, Under Siege 2, Dark Territory. Rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
National League scoreboard. The Dodgers behind Ismael Valdez lead the Marlins 5-1 in the 9th. Cincinnati on top of Chicago 8-1 in the 6th. Montreal 1 run better than the Pirates in the 7th, 5-4. Atlanta behind Steve Avery shutting out San Diego 4-0 in the 6th. San Fran and Houston knotted up at 3. That game also in the 6th inning. And the Colorado Rockies and the New York Mets just underway, 0-0 in the 2nd. And in case of you missed it a little bit earlier, a trade was made today. But first, let's tell you about the new addition to the Philadelphia Phillies family. Joe Giles, the one on the far left, the son of Bill Giles, just had a bouncing baby girl with his lovely wife,
Paula
Giles, and Joe Giles welcoming in Carolyn Crandall Giles to the world yesterday morning.
Granddaughter number 2 for William Yale and Nancy Giles.
What a way to celebrate. The Phils leading 7-0 here in the top of the 9th. Carolyn Crandall Giles, the middle name taken from Joe's grandfather and Carolyn's great-grandfather, Warren Giles, National League president of years back. It was his middle name as well. Ramon Caraballo, 0-2. He is 1 for 3 with a single.
Toby Borland eligible for a save should he finish this game, pitching 3 effective innings.
Borland's allowed just 1 hit through now 2 1/3 as he strikes out his first batter of the evening.
Toby started to throw the ball pretty well the other night in Colorado. Now he got caught up in a game where the defense wasn't so hot behind him. There's a slider for a strike, and then pitched well the next time out, and he looks like, you know, this is an easier effort. I mean, he has a 7-run lead coming in here, but he looks like he's throwing the ball pretty well, and he could be a big part of this ball club because he's tough on right-handed batters.
There's Alan Battle, 1 for 3. He has struck out twice. How about the contrast tonight between the starting pitcher who did not allow a ground ball and this guy who's retired everybody except for that last strikeout on grounders?
Well, that's the difference between a sinker baller that this guy is and Sid Fernandez, who has always been a fly ball pitcher.
Sid retired 18 batters tonight, 10 on strikeouts, 8 on flyouts, and Borland has retired 6 of the 7 on grounders. And the only other out was a strikeout.
Phillies have not had a game. I can't remember the last time they had a game that was, you know, still 2 outs to go. You know, but yeah, you know, you led, pitched well. And, you know, you are allowed to win a game like this once in a while.
It's been quite a struggle for the team that started out 37-18 and then went 4-18. Took them 55 games to lose 18, and then they took 22 more and lost another 18. On the ground. Infield got the first 6 innings off. The outfield's going to get the last 3 innings off, it appears. Coming your way at 10:30 tonight, John Flynn takes center stage in the premiere of the latest edition of O'Flaherty's Acoustic. It's 30 minutes of music from a popular media night spot exclusively on Prism. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow when your idol, the Great Whiteness, is honored.
Can't wait.
Richie Ashburn.
That'll be a fun night.
Well, We're fitting the form as Borland gets a ground out to end the ball game. A combined shutout between Sid Fernandez, who wins his first game since July 15th of 1994, and Toby Borland, who goes 3 shutout innings and should earn a save in this ball game. And for Borland,